Chapter 897. Based on what Yao Yan said, they had invited many capable people this time, all of them possessing all sorts of lightning-attributed flames. Perhaps the matter was not as simple as what Xiaochen said. Princess Yao Yan, what exactly is this evil demon? Can you explain it to me in detail? What kind of evil demon was it? To think that even Emperor Wu could not do anything to it, only fearing lightning-attributed flames. This piqued Xiaochen's interest. After a few rounds of transportation formations, they passed through the primal chaos domain. Just as they were about to reach the yellow soil demonic garden, Xiaochen casually asked about the evil demon. Princess Yao Yan appeared very fatigued. However, with Xiaochen accompanying her, she was in a good mood. At the mention of this evil demon, an unnatural expression of fear appeared in her eyes. Princess Yao Yan sighed and answered, "This evil demon has a humanoid appearance as well. However, it does not have a body of flesh and blood. It can consume the flesh and blood of cultivators to strengthen itself. The energy it uses is filled with evil qi. It is different from any race in the Kunlun realm, even different from the Deep Abyss demonic race. Regular martial techniques are practically useless against this evil demon. Many of the Kunlun realm's clansmen could not react at all before this evil demon swallowed them whole. If not for lightning-attributed flames, which can deter this evil demon, it would be hard to imagine what else in the world could suppress it. However, it does not matter this time. Several experts with lightning-attributed flames in the Kunlun realm have accepted the invitation. Furthermore, with young Master Zhao's help, we will definitely be able to settle this once and for all." Xiaochen looked at the empty immortal spirit ring and felt it was unfortunate. If Ao Jiao were here, given her knowledge, she would definitely be of great help to him. "Young Master Xiao, what's wrong? We are about to reach the yellow soil demonic garden. We cannot fly anymore," Princess Yao Yan reminded when she saw that Xiaochen seemed somewhat distracted. The storm above the yellow soil demonic garden was famous. Xiaochen recovered his wits and smiled apologetically. Then he landed on the yellow soil demonic garden with the other two. After passing through the yellow soil demonic garden, the Chaos Devil Sea would pass. However, the yellow soil demonic garden was fraught with danger. There were mutated plant-type demonic beasts everywhere. Among them, there were quite a few plants that had cultivated successfully and even developed spiritual intelligence. Even with Xiaochen's current cultivation, he didn't dare to say that he could do whatever he wanted here. Princess Yao Yan put the thorn monarch hoop on her head. Some of the thorns on the thorn monarch hoop were deeply embedded in her forehead, and blood was flowing out. Princess Yao Yan, on the other hand, didn't feel much pain. Waves of peaceful energy fused into her mind, filling her body with strength. Yellow earth, gloomy jungle, and strange plants. Xiaochen followed behind the two, not daring to relax his divine sense for even a moment. Princess Yao Yan took care of quite a few plants and demon beasts along the way. With the Thorn Monarch Circlet, she was much stronger than Xiaochen in the Yellow Soil Devil Garden. The Thorn Monarch Circlet was a mysterious treasure passed down from ancient times. It had the ability to control, absorb, and devour plants. There were quite a few plants in the Yellow Soil Devil Garden that hadn't attacked yet. As long as they had any malicious intent, Princess Yao Yan would sense them in advance. The Green Thorn Monarch Circlet emitted motes of light. As it sat on Princess Yao Yan's head, it gave off an indescribable sense of nobility. When some plants sensed the Thorn Monarch Circlet's power, they even took the initiative to open up a path. The Thorn Monarch Circlet was truly mystical. Just like that, Princess Yao Yan walked into the depths of the Yellow Soil Devil Garden without any mishaps. Princess Yao Yan stopped in front of an ancient tree. That ancient tree wasn't very tall, and it didn't have many leaves. However, its color was lush and dazzling. When Princess Yao Yan arrived before the tree, she broke off a green leaf from the Thorn Monarch Circlet and gently handed it over. A tree branch hung down like a human hand and grabbed the green leaf from the Thorn Monarch Circlet. A human face appeared on the tree branch. It placed the green leaf in its mouth and said in a hoarse voice, "Not bad. This is indeed a leaf from the Thorn Monarch Circlet. According to our agreement, I will send you on your way." Xiaochen's eyes lit up. This seemingly ordinary ancient tree was actually a spirit that had cultivated to a high level. Whoosh! 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 3 tree branches flew over and wrapped around the waists of Xiao Chen's group. An irresistible force came from the tree branches, and the ancient tree sank into the ground with the 3. The scene changed quickly. It felt like time passed. When the 3 stabilized themselves, there was a vast sea in front of them. The yellow soil devil garden was already far behind them. In one breath, the 3 had traveled more than half of the yellow soil devil garden. This ancient tree's strength was truly unfathomable. When Yao Yan saw the sea, she heaved a sigh of relief. She removed the thorn monarch circlet from her head, and her previously radiant face immediately turned dim and listless. Her eyes filled with exhaustion and indescribable fatigue. It looked like the exhaustion of the thorn monarch circlet was not something Princess Yao Yan could bear. Otherwise, she would not have asked the ancient tree to help her. "Your Highness, are you all right?" Xiao Chen asked somewhat worriedly when he saw the situation. Was the other party in a rush? "I'm fine. I'm fine now that I see the sea. Let's go." The elders and the others must have waited for a long time already. Yao Yan smiled faintly, and her long, sky-blue hair fluttered in the sea breeze. She closed her eyes and enjoyed the smell of the sea in the wind. Then, she gently leaped up and landed in the vast sea. The instant her legs touched the water, they immediately turned into a fish's tail. As she swam in the sea, Yao Yan seemed to become a different person. She waved at Xiao Chen and said, "Young Master Xiao, let's go." Electric light flashed under Xiao Chen's feet, and he landed beside Yao Yan in the blink of an eye. As he looked at the mermaid beside him, he was somewhat distracted. Swaying her tail, Yao Yan led Xiao Chen down in the water. Her speed was astonishingly fast, simply like a water spirit. Xiao Chen, who had always been known for his speed, actually found it somewhat taxing to keep up. After they sank to a depth of 5 kilometers, there was no longer any sunlight in the sea. It was pitch black. Xiao Chen's spiritual sense was affected. He could only see a kilometer around him. Boom. Suddenly, a multicolored light lit up below. When Xiao Chen looked over, he saw a huge dreamlike castle at the bottom of the sea. A barrier of light surrounded the castle. The scene before Xiao Chen brightened, sweeping away the pitch-black darkness. There were corals swaying at the bottom of the sea, merfolk moving about, and blooming sea trees. The entire scene was gorgeous. Words could not describe the wonder of the seabed. Yao Yan revealed sincere joy on her face. She said, "This is the nation of our merfolk race. There are still some tribes in other places. In the future, when I have time, I will bring the white-robed king around again." Xiao Chen reveled in this beautiful scene, feeling somewhat confused. The merfolk race was famous for their ferocity on land. Unexpectedly, he could not see any of that here. "Young Master Xiao, there is no need to be surprised. Our merfolk race is the most hospitable to our friends. However, against our enemies, even the most beautiful girl will pick up a short sword and fight," Yao Yan said softly. Xiao Chen was not the only one. Any outsider who came to the merfolk nation would have the same question. Xiao Chen was not the only one. Any outsider who came to the merfolk nation would have such doubts. "Your Highness." A group of merfolk warriors swam over and bowed to Yao Yan in an orderly fashion. Xiao Chen had seen this group before. It was Mu Yun, who had been with Yao Yan in the Sage Mark Monument's treasure pavilion. After not seeing Mu Yun for 2 years, Mu Yun's strength had improved significantly. With a cursory glance, Xiao Chen discovered that Mu Yun was already a peak medial grade martial sage. Mu Yun looked at Xiao Chen with joy on his face. He performed a cupped fist salute and said, "The white-robed king has come. It is truly an honor." Originally, Mu Yun only wanted to borrow some fire. Unexpectedly, Xiao Chen came personally. Naturally, he was pleasantly surprised. When the merfolk warriors heard Mu Yun address Xiao Chen as the white-robed king, they all looked over and sized him up curiously. They could not help whispering to each other, discussing in whispers. Xiao Chen really could not continue being addressed like this. He simply did not like the term white-robed king. He said, "My king title has not been decided yet. I hope that everyone will not mention the title of white-robed king again." Mu Yun smiled and said, "The white-robed king is too humble. Although your king title has not been decided yet, young Master Xiao is definitely worthy of the title of white-robed king." When Yao Yan saw that Xiao Chen's expression was somewhat unnatural, he smiled faintly and changed the topic. Let's not talk about this anymore. Mu Yun, are the experts of the various factions ready? When Xiao Chen spoke of proper matters, Mu Yun's expression turned grave. He said, they have been preparing for a long time already. This time, Princess was able to invite the white-robed king over personally. There will undoubtedly be more opportunities on this trip. Mu Yun led the two through the light barrier, isolating them from the seawater. Then, Yao Yan and Mu Yun naturally reverted to human form and flew in the air. After sending people to arrange a place for Xiao Chen to stay, Mu Yun and Yao Yan quickly took their leave from Xiao Chen. This is it. A gentle and pretty merfolk race girl led Xiao Chen to a luxurious courtyard. She said softly, Young Master Xiao, rest here for the night. Tomorrow morning, I will bring young master to meet with the others. I will be in the side hall. If you have any instructions, you can call me at any time. Everything in the courtyard was fine. Xiao Chen nodded in satisfaction and said, You may withdraw first. Just come and call me tomorrow morning. How can I do that? Young master is an honored guest that His Highness personally welcomed. Naturally, I will serve you well and cannot leave on my own. Xiao Chen smiled faintly and said, Since I am an honored guest, naturally, I have the final say. You may withdraw first. There is only one night. Why would I need to take care of me? After dismissing the maidservant, Xiao Chen prepared to enter his room to cultivate. Suddenly, two people landed outside the door and walked over to Xiao Chen. When Xiao Chen turned his head to look, he was stunned. Why are these two people here? These two people were none other than the Muddy Sky Gate's young master, Wuxia, and the White Bone Sovereign's descendant, Long Fei. Seeing Wuxia was already surprising enough for Xiao Chen. Now seeing Long Fei astonished him. This fellow had been chopped in half by Xiao Chen's saber strike. In less than 2 months, he had actually recovered. White-robed king, how have you been? Do you find it strange to see us? Wuxia walked over with a wide smile. Long Fei held a folding fan in his hand, looking like a pale scholar. When he saw Xiao Chen, he did not show any deep hatred or bitterness. Based on the indistinct state of ruin in Long Fei's eyes, this fellow had managed to comprehend the will of ruin on his own after losing the ruin trident. His strength had probably soared significantly. Don't be so shocked. Since you can come to this place, naturally, we can come as well. You are not the only one with a lightning-attributed flame. We were invited as well. Of course, we are not as honored as you are, needing Princess Yao Yan to personally invite us. Chapter 898. Wuxia walked over casually, not showing any fear at all. Xiao Chen recovered his wits. When he saw that the two did not give off any murderous intent, he said calmly, Since you are already here, come in and have a seat. The three casually sat at a small table in the courtyard. Xiao Chen took out a bottle of wine and filled it for the two. Wuxia drained the wine in one gulp. Then he frowned and said, It doesn't taste good. Brother Xiao, it looks like you are not particular about this wine. Brother Long, take out a bottle of your precious monkey wine then. The monkey wine was a good thing. Xiao Chen had heard of it before. There was a kind of wild monkey that lived in the mountains that were extremely difficult to climb. They did not have any abilities, but they were born with the ability to gather wild fruits and spring water to make wine. The wine it brewed was much more delicious than the wine brewers of the various races. Frequently, experts on the level of Emperor Wu would search for this monkey wine all over the mountains and plains, but would end up empty-handed. Long Fei fanned himself and took out a jar of wine. When he removed the lid, a natural wine fragrance immediately spread out, filling the entire courtyard with an intoxicating fragrance. After pouring a cup for the two, Long Fei covered the jar of monkey wine like it was a treasure, and quickly put it away in his spatial ring. Wuxia picked up the wine cup and sniffed it for a long time before draining it in one gulp. Then he smacked his lips and said, You are really stingy. Even after seeing the white-robed king, you only took out 1 cup. Long Fei took a sip and put down the wine cup. Wuxia, let's get down to business. Xiao Chen is probably getting impatient from waiting. When Wuxia heard that, he withdrew his smile and asked, Brother Xiao, do you know what trouble the merfolk race is in this time? What do they want us to do? Xiao Chen replied softly. Aren't we supposed to kill the evil demon clones and mend the seal? Could there be other secrets? Qi Wuxia smiled and said, in that case, Brother Xiao, do you know where the evil demon clones are sealed? What place? Neptune's palace. The Neptune headscarf on his forehead emitted a chilly feeling, instantly suppressing Xiao Chen's restless heart. No expression could be seen on his delicate face. This news was really unexpected. The place where the demons were sealed was in the palace of Neptune. What kind of place was the palace of Neptune? It was Neptune's former palace, filled with countless treasures and riches. How could it be related to demons? Qi Wuxia continued. This is strange, right? However, speaking of which, this matter is related to you. 10,000 years ago, it was the Qing Emperor who sealed the evil demon in Neptune's palace. Originally, the merfolk race did not intend to announce this secret, but this time, we have no choice but to announce it. How so? You still don't understand? How do you think the seal was loosened? How could the seal left behind by the Qing Emperor be loosened so easily? It was the greed of the merfolk race. They coveted the treasures in Neptune's palace and moved the seal. In the end, they went too far. Now they cannot deal with it with their own strength. The palace of Neptune itself is an emperor-grade secret treasure. The Qing Emperor purposely merged his seal with the palace of Neptune, completely dealing with the hidden danger of the evil demon. Haha. Unfortunately, the human heart is too hard to fathom. The seal, which was supposed to be foolproof, ended up being moved by the merfolk race themselves. Qi Wuxia's lips curled up as he spoke somewhat mockingly. To think that there was such a secret. Indeed, the matter was not as simple as he thought. Xiao Chen stared at Qi Wuxia and asked, how did you know about this? Qi Wuxia smiled faintly and replied, how can there be an airtight wall in the world? Now that the various experts who rushed over after hearing the news, which one of them does not know about it? Which one of them is not here for the treasures in Neptune's palace? Who would really care about the life and death of the merfolk race? Long Fei added, Brother Xiao Chen, let's not beat around the bush. Brother Qi and I are here for the treasures in Neptune's palace as well. Originally, I did not intend to work with you. However, this time, I really can't hold on much longer. The 7 great sects near the chaotic demonic sea all sent lightning-attributed experts. Some loose cultivator old monsters also came uninvited. Even the great sects of the Punglai Sea were startled. Qi Wuxia looked at the calm and collected Xiao Chen and said, others might not know, but Brother Long and I do. Brother Xiao, you have the purple thunder true fire. With your strength, you might even be able to hold your own against Grandmaster-level martial sages. If we work together, we will definitely reap a great harvest. Xiao Chen stood up and started pacing around the courtyard. Originally, he had only intended to return a small favor and leave immediately. Unexpectedly, there were so many other things involved. Long Fei and Qi Wuxia exchanged glances. Then they stood up and said, Brother Xiao, are you worried about the grudge between us? Although I, Long Fei, have never flaunted myself as a righteous person, I have always done things in an open and above-board manner. Otherwise, when I saw that you were about to break through and starlight fell, I would not have waited for you to finish breaking through before challenging you to a battle. This time, with the 3 of us working together, Brother Xiao will have priority in choosing all the benefits we obtain, and will monopolize 40%. Seeing Xiao Chen remain silent, Long Fei continued, Brother Xiao, if you agree, I can tell you how to refine the trident in advance to show my sincerity. When Xiao Chen saw the situation, he knew that the two misunderstood, thinking that he was using the opportunity to raise the price. This matter is very important. I cannot make a decision based on what one person says. Before this Xiao came here, I really did not know anything about the Neptune Palace. I am only here to repay the kindness of an old friend. If this matter is really as the two of you say, I have no reason not to work together with the two of you to deal with an enemy. Qi Wuxia's eyes lit up. He smiled and said, in that case, Brother Xiao agrees? He, it was not in vain for me to spread your name throughout the world. Xiao Chen frowned and asked, finding it strange, what name? White-robed king, Brother Xiao, you probably do not know. The people of the 5 major races gather in the primal chaos domain. As long as there is any big news, it will immediately spread throughout the entire Kunlun realm. For the sake of spreading your name, the white-robed king, I sent 2,000 idle people of my sect to spread your deeds in more than 1,000 cities of various sizes in the primal chaos domain. Haha. Look at it now. The entire world knows about the white-robed king Xiaochen. Qi Wuxia spoke leisurely, appearing very cocky. He did not notice that Xiaochen's face had turned dark at some point in time. In the end, it turned out that Qi Wuxia was the one who spread the title of the white-robed king. Bang! An explosion rang out, and Qi Wuxia fell from the courtyard onto the street. Then his head smashed heavily against the ground. Long Fei walked out of the courtyard and looked at Qi Wuxia, who fell to the ground in a sorry state. He could not help smiling. Strange, is the white-robed king not a good title? Brother Xiao, why are you suddenly so angry? Qi Wuxia stood up and rubbed his head. Feeling confused, he asked Long Fei, "White-robed king, what a simple and elegant title. Long Fei, don't you think so?" Feeling somewhat speechless, Long Fei said, "This fellow serves you right. What is a king title? It is a title that will accompany Xiaochen for life. How can he casually give it to him? He is a descendant of the Qing Emperor. Naturally, he has to inherit the title of the Qing Emperor." "What is the title of the Qing Emperor?" "Blue Dragon King." Qi Wuxia muttered to himself. Then he suddenly understood. Indeed, the Blue Dragon King is more tyrannical. However, adding the words white-robed king is not bad either. White-robed Blue Dragon King. Long Fei was utterly speechless. The title of king accompanied a cultivator for life. It concerned honor, dignity, and inheritance. This Qi Wuxia was simply too casual about it, treating it like child's play. Inside the courtyard, Xiaochen held a jade strip in his hand. He closed his eyes and read the information in it. Then he revealed an expression of sudden understanding. He said, "So this is how the throne is forged into a weapon. One needs to use mental energy flame to refine it, and then condense it in an instant." Before Long Fei left, to show his sincerity, he taught Xiaochen the method of forging a weapon for the throne. After Xiaochen put away the jade strip, he felt somewhat frustrated for some reason. Now that he thought about this matter carefully, he discovered that this originally simple matter actually contained many tricks. "Princess Yao Yan, why did you not explain this to me in advance?" Thinking of the Neptune Palace, Xiaochen removed the Neptune headscarf from his forehead and took a look. It looked like this Neptune headscarf came from the Neptune Palace. Then, Xiaochen placed the headscarf to the side and took out a wine cup from the universe ring. Then he placed it in front of the empty seat opposite him. He believed that someone would give him an explanation. When Xiaochen looked up, he saw several man-made gems in the sky. They flickered with star-like light. If one blinked, they would forget that they were at the bottom of the sea, more than 10 kilometers below the surface. Xiaochen kept feeling like something was missing. After drinking a few mouthfuls of wine, he raised his hand. A bright and clear moon slowly rose behind him. The gentle moonlight sprinkled down like water, filling the entire courtyard with a faint glow. Xiaochen revealed a satisfied smile and continued drinking. When the moonlight shone on his white figure, it cast a lonely shadow on the ground. Cup after cup, Xiaochen drank alone. At some point in time, an exquisite figure appeared on the ground in the cold courtyard. Yao Yan landed across from Xiaochen. When she saw the prepared wine cup, shock flashed in her eyes. "Young Master Xiao, did you know that Yao Yan would come?" Xiaochen put down his wine cup and revealed a smile on his delicate face. He said warmly, "Naturally. I, Xiaochen, never make a mistake in judging people. Princess Yao Yan, there were some things that were not convenient to say on the way. I was afraid that I would not help you after I said them. However, now that I am here, I believe Princess no longer has any reservations." Yao Yan did not know if it was a misconception, but she felt that Xiaochen was clearly smiling. However, his eyes were as cold as still water, without any ripples. It seemed like nothing in this world could attract his attention. When Yao Yan heard Xiaochen's words, she felt somewhat guilty. She finished the wine in her cup and smiled bitterly. "This time, young Master Xiao probably misjudged me. Yao Yan did hide it from you. The tragedy of the merfolk race was caused by me. The merfolk race's race head and the 5 supreme elders personally opened the outermost seal and entered Neptune's palace. However, none of them came out. They all died in there. In the end, the 3 elders guarding outside used their lives as the price to patch up the outermost seal. However, the seal inside was completely broken. Chapter 899. The appearance of the evil demon's main body is just a matter of time. Now the vast merfolk race no longer has an Emperor Wu. The price of greed was really high. 9 people on the level of Emperor Wu died just like that. Without needing Yao Yan to say anything, Xiaochen could roughly guess how these Emperor Wu died. They definitely did not listen to advice and relied on their Emperor Wu's cultivation to enter without preparing a lightning-attributed true flame. They thought that by gathering the strength of 8 Emperor Wus, they would be able to do as they pleased in the palace of Neptune, looting all the treasures in there before leaving calmly. However, Xiaochen guessed wrong. Yao Yan's next words truly startled Xiaochen. The appetite of the merfolk race's Emperor Wu was unexpectedly huge. They actually wanted to swallow up the entire palace of Neptune along with the evil demon clones, turning their race head into the new Neptune. 2 years ago, I held the Extreme Thunder Sword and entered alone. I thought that the Extreme Thunder True Flame in the Extreme Thunder Sword could suppress the evil demon clones for 100 years. Who knew? The evil demon clones that swallowed up Emperor Wu were not completely killed by me at that time. Now they have already revived. The Extreme Thunder True Flame in the Extreme Thunder Sword has already been worn down by these evil demon clones over the past 2 years. If we do not think of a way, the evil demon's main body will definitely break free within half a year. At that time, the entire chaotic demonic sea will suffer a disaster. I would like to ask young Master Xiao to make a move and use the Purple Thunder True Flame to sweep away these evil demon clones. Then, together with the Extreme Thunder Sword, we can completely suppress the evil demon's main body. Xiaochen listened quietly. As the moonlight shone down, he only drank without saying anything. By the time Yao Yan finished speaking, the wine in the wine bottle had finished. Perhaps it was a coincidence or not. Xiaochen shook the wine bottle. Indeed, it was empty. Yao Yan had indeed finished speaking. After putting away the wine bottle, Xiaochen waved his hand. The bright moon in the sky shook gently and turned into beams of gentle light that scattered into the sky. Yao Yan was taken aback. Looking at the disappearing moon, she didn't realize until now that it was Xiaochen's creation. How could there be a moon at the bottom of the sea? Xiaochen saw this subtle expression and sighed silently in his heart. He reached out and sucked the Neptune headscarf over from the table and tied it around his forehead again. Yao Yan was a little nervous. He didn't know what Xiaochen was thinking. If he knew the truth, would he still help him? Strange, Your Highness, are you not done yet? Xiaochen fastened Neptune's headscarf and looked at Yao Yan, who hadn't left yet. Yao Yan was stunned at first. Then she exclaimed in pleasant surprise, "Young Master Xiao, you're not leaving?" Xiaochen revealed a warm smile on his cold face. He said, "When did I say that I was leaving? On the other hand, Your Highness, it is a long night. You have already said what you wanted to say, yet you are still not leaving. Are you not planning to leave tonight?" After understanding Xiaochen's meaning, Yao Yan could not help but blush. She glanced at Xiaochen, who seemed to be smiling, and quickly left. White-robed king, Yao Yan will forever remember your kindness. The merfolk race will forever remember it as well. An exquisite voice drifted over from the air. When Xiaochen heard it, he was slightly entranced. Xiaochen opened his palm, and a painting appeared in his palm. The painting slowly unfurled, and the Qing Emperor's appearance entered his eyes once more. Xiaochen said somewhat self-deprecatingly, 10,000 years ago, you thought that you were very smart and merged your seal with Neptune's palace, materializing a perfect seal. However, who could have imagined that the human heart is the hardest to fathom? That perfect seal back then brought a calamity to the merfolk race? If the Qing Emperor had not merged his seal with Neptune's palace back then, such a thing would not have happened, leaving such a terrible mess for Xiaochen. The cause of 10,000 years ago was the effect of 10,000 years later. It was time to end this karma. Xiaochen put away the painting and revealed a resolute expression. He did not enter his room to rest. Instead, he rushed to Long Fei and Qi Wushua's residences and asked them about the people who had taken advantage of the chaos to come and how strong they were. After Xiaochen obtained the information he wanted, he frowned heavily. The situation was much more complicated than he had imagined. Right now, the greatest problem was not the evil demon clones in Neptune's palace. Instead, it was the various experts who came for the treasures in Neptune's palace. Several of them had come uninvited, not having received an invitation at all. Not only would they not be of any help, but they would even add to the chaos. Xiaochen told Qi Wuxia and Long Fei about his plans and intentions, not hiding anything. After the two heard it, they could not help feeling somewhat disappointed. Qi Wuxia said, "Brother Xiao, it's not that I want to criticize you, but the mess that the Qing Emperor left 10,000 years ago really has nothing to do with you. Besides, it's the big shots of the merfolk race who brought this upon themselves because of their greed. Why do you have to fall headfirst into it?" This time, many of the people who came uninvited are old fellows from the primal chaos domain. All of them are old monsters who have lived for 100 or 200 years. Long Fei also felt surprised at Xiaochen's choice. He advised, "Xiaochen, you have to think this through. There are many things in Neptune's palace." Back then, the Qing Emperor did not take them away because he did not fancy them. However, to us, they are all supreme treasures. You are kind enough to not let those people in and send themselves to death, increasing the strength of the evil demon clones. However, others might not think that way. They might just think that you want to keep the treasures for yourself. Qi Wuxia nodded and said, "That's right. Furthermore, I heard that the Qing Emperor did not touch Neptune's corpse out of respect. The divine rain robes it wore, the Neptune scepter in its hand, the Neptune crown on its head, and the chasing wave boots on its feet are all still there. Which one of them is not something that drives people crazy? Coincidentally, the merfolk race's Emperor Wu is all dead. The few blue-robed emperors are all busy protecting the outermost seal, and cannot spare any attention. These fellows will absolutely not let go of this opportunity." Xiaochen's eyes were as clear as water, and his face was as calm as a lake. Then he turned around and looked to the front. In the pitch-black night, the man-made astral gems gave off light in the sky, decorating this dreamy castle. This was an extremely serene and beautiful castle. After looking for a long time, Xiaochen withdrew his gaze and said, "Sometimes, after admitting to some things, one has to bear some responsibility. If I run away today, I will not have any psychological burden if I run into similar things in the future. In that case, why did I admit to my identity in front of everyone in the world back then? Many thanks to the two of you for your kind intentions and information. If there is a fight in Neptune's palace, I will help the two of you once. Goodbye." As Qi Wuxia watched Xiaochen's departing figure, he said helplessly, "This brother Xiao is still unfathomable. His life is too tiring. There will probably be a good show to watch tomorrow morning." Long Fei opened his folding fan and gently fanned himself. He said in frustration, "Right now, everyone in the world knows that he is a descendant of the Qing Emperor. After the king conferral ceremony, he will officially inherit the title of Blue Dragon King. You only see the glorious side, but cannot see the hidden pressure of being a descendant of the Qing Emperor. So you are the ruffian Qi Wuxia, and he is the famous Blue Dragon King. The one who cannot see through is you." Feeling unconvinced, Qi Wuxia said, "Hey Long Fei, why are you siding with an outsider? Don't forget that he beat you up into a sorry state on Dragonwood Star. Why are you speaking up for him so quickly?" Long Fei closed his folding fan and revealed an arrogant expression on his fair face. He said, "I am not someone who cannot afford to lose. Back then, I dared to fight him fair and square after he broke through. In the future, when I obtain the title of Whitebone King, I will naturally fight him fair and square." Qi Wuxia smiled and said, "Fine, fine, fine. This brother will not argue with you now. Ehe. In another 10 years, I want to see you become the Whitebone Sovereign and get beaten up by Xiaochen. That would be thrilling and exciting." Bang! Long Fei opened his folding fan and smashed it at Qi Wuxia. Qi Wuxia chuckled and stretched out his hand to block this attack. "A dog's mouth cannot spit out ivory. I'll beat you until you can't get up. What can you do to me?" My turbid heaven demonic art has improved significantly recently. As the two bickered, they started fighting. However, they clearly did not use much strength. Otherwise, the roof would have been blown off long ago. Early in the morning, the light barrier above the castle shone with a boundless light, simulating the vigorous glow of dawn, and waking up the people sleeping in this dreamy city. Several old men exuding baleful auras had arrived early in the largest plaza of the city. They sat expressionlessly on stone stools. As the sky brightened, the number of cultivators rushing over to the plaza gradually increased. These people were not merfolk. One could easily tell them from the color of their hair. However, all of them were terrifyingly strong. The weakest among them was a medial-grade martial sage. As for the old monsters giving off baleful auras, their cultivations were even higher. They were at least superior-grade martial sages. Among them, there was a three-fingered old man with white hair who was a peak superior-grade martial sage. This old man was only one step short of having the air of a grandmaster. Then, he would truly become a grandmaster-level martial sage. The people of the primal chaos domain would not be unfamiliar with this old man's identity. This fellow was a rather famous loose cultivator. Of course, he was infamous. He specialized in poison and came from the famous 5 poison sect of the profound domain. Later, he broke the sect's rules and experimented on living people. After that, he betrayed the 5 poison sect. Even now, he was still wanted by the 5 poison sect. However, he was still alive and well. In the primal chaos domain, he was known as the 5 poison devil. Even a regular grandmaster-level martial sage would not be willing to offend him. When the other invited cultivators saw this person, they showed fear in their eyes, not daring to underestimate him. Senior 5 poison, I heard that girl's tone is very unyielding. Those who are not invited are not allowed to enter the palace of Neptune. While it was still early, someone among the group of old monsters informed the 5 poison devil. The 5 poison devil sat on a stone stool and smiled coldly. Can she do as she pleases? Right now, the merfolk race only has 2 blue-robed emperors left. They are barely maintaining the seal around the palace of Neptune. Even grandmaster-level martial sages cannot leave. How dare she say no? However, I heard that the evil demon clones in there are very horrifying. We do not have lightning-attributed flames. If we enter, we will probably run into danger. However, even Emperor Wu died in there. The 5 poison devil's expression did not change. He said indifferently, "Didn't you see that so many people came this time? All of them have lightning-attributed flames. If we mix in, we can protect ourselves. As long as we are not too greedy and come out after finding a few treasures, we will definitely be fine." Chapter 900. How did those martial emperors die? Their appetites were too big. They wanted to refine the entire Sea Monarch Palace. In the end, the evil demon's main body schemed against them, and they were completely wiped out. The 5 poison devils' words shocked everyone to death. This was a piece of information that many people did not know. There is actually such a thing. I was wondering how Emperor Wu could die so easily. It turns out that he was too ambitious. He wanted to refine the entire Neptune Palace. He was very bold. Unfortunately, he overestimated himself. Even sovereign martial emperors would not dare to say that they could refine it. To think that they dared to refine it. They deserved to die in there. Upon hearing this news, the surrounding loose cultivators who came uninvited all heaved a sigh of relief. It looked like the evil demon was not as horrifying as they had imagined. When the old 5 poison ghost saw the expressions of these people, he laughed coldly in his heart. However, his mouth continued. This old ghost is not someone who would throw away his life for treasures. If I am not confident, I will not mess around. You can go ahead and mess around with Mr. Qin and I. The Mr. Qin that the 5 poison devil mentioned was a middle-aged man in hempen robes. However, after he arrived, he had closed his eyes and rested. He did not give off a ferocious baleful aura, so the surrounding people ignored him. Hearing the 5 poison devil mention this, the group quickly looked over. Only then did they discover that this gray-robed old man's cultivation was not much lower than the 5 poison devils. Mr. Qin? Could it be that Mr. Qin from the Medicine God Valley's Fire Dragon God? Someone said uncertainly when he thought of something. The 5 Poison Devil nodded and said, "That's right. Mr. Qin holds a high position in the Medicine God Valley. He is one of the 3 Grandmaster alchemists there. With Mr. Qin and me here, no matter how stubborn that girl is, she will have to obediently let us in." Not far away, Wuxia and Long Fei saw this scene, and their expressions turned unsightly. Long Fei said, "This 5 Poison Devil's poison technique kills people invisibly. Several Grandmaster-level martial sages are not willing to fight with him. That Mr. Qin is not a good person either. This fellow grasps 9 different attributed flames, and created the 9 dragons art from them. He is not just an alchemist." As Wuxia looked at Mr. Qin, who had not said anything since the start, his eyes filled with fear. "The people from the Penglai Sea are here." At this moment, an exclamation rang out in the public square. Everyone could not help but look over. The Penglai Sea was a faraway place. Very few people in the outside world knew how to enter it. The people inside also cultivated the legendary immortal techniques. They rarely moved about outside, giving off a mysterious feeling. 2 young men wearing magic robes descended from the sky with arrogant expressions. As he looked at the people around him, the disdain in his eyes was revealed without any hesitation. These 2 fellows seemed to have come uninvited as well. "Well, I don't know if Xiaoqun will change his mind after he comes. None of these people are easy to mess with. Xiaoqun is here," Long Fei suddenly said. Wuxia looked around but could not see that white figure. He asked anxiously, "Where? Where? Why do I not see him?" Long Fei pointed in a direction, and Wuxia quickly looked over. There was a person wearing a black cloak sitting cross-legged on a stone stool, silently sitting cross-legged on it. That person's face was hidden under the shadow of the hood, preventing others from seeing him clearly. Wuxia sized him up a few times before he confirmed it. He said, "Your eyes are really sharp. I did not even notice when he arrived." This stumped Long Fei. He did not know when Xiaoqun arrived either. Earlier, he had casually glanced at him. At first he nearly passed by. When Long Fei turned his head back and took a closer look, he could vaguely sense that it was Xiaoqun. "I'm not sure. Perhaps he just arrived, or perhaps he arrived long ago. However, it does not matter. What we can see, he can see as well. No matter how we think about it, it is not clear. This fellow always surprises us." Long Fei toyed with the folding fan in his hand. Wuxia withdrew his gaze and revealed a contemplative expression. Then he said with certainty, "I do not believe that there would be such a foolish person in this world. He would do something that is clearly against his own interests just for the sake of being a descendant of the Qing Emperor." As they chatted, a commotion broke out in the crowd. Wuxia's and Long Fei's eyes lit up. The main character had arrived. Princess Yaoyan arrived with Mu Yun, the white-robed king, and 4 or 5 merfolk race old men. "Princess, the white-robed king does not seem to be here." Mu Yun sent a voice projection somewhat anxiously as he quickly swept his gaze over the crowd. "Don't panic. He is here. Just tell him what I mean." Mu Yun calmed himself and stepped forward. Then he said, "Thank you, everyone, for coming from far away and accepting our invitation. Later, we will distribute the jade pendants to enter Neptune's palace, according to the invitation list." The 5 Poison Devil's eyes blazed with rage as he made a gesture. Someone immediately understood and shouted, "The merfolk race is too much. Although we did not receive an invitation, we have the heart to kill the evil demon, just like everyone else. Why are they not giving us the jade pendants? This is too much. They are simply looking down on us. The merfolk race is too much of a bully. They are just hot-blooded, directly ignoring us. Are the merfolk race really so heartless? Damn. Merfolk, don't be too selfish. We came to help out of goodwill. Why are you treating us differently? Give us the jade pendants. If you do not, then no one can enter Neptune's palace." In an instant, a large group of people started shouting at the same time. Their words were extremely intense. Furthermore, these people were loose cultivators with startling baleful auras. Such a situation was truly terrifying. It seemed like they would really make a move at any moment, fighting to the death. Even though Mu Yun expected that these people would not give up, He had not expected this group of old monsters to be so shameless, turning the tables on him. Seeing the baleful auras and ferocious old men spreading out, Mu Yin could not help trembling in fear. He had never seen such a scene before. Yao Yin shook his head and personally stepped forward. Then he stared at the silent five-poison devil and Mr. Qin. These two were the true leaders. I will have to trouble everyone with the matter of the merfolk race. However, it is not that Yao Yin does not need your help today. It is that you do not have a lightning-attributed flame, or a secret treasure containing a lightning-attributed flame. If you go in, only death awaits you. Not only will you not be able to help, but you will also be consumed by the evil demon, increasing its strength. If you can come out with a king-grade secret treasure with a lightning-attributed flame, or a lightning-attributed flame of a high grade, Yao Yin will definitely let you in. When facing these old monsters who had lived for 100 or 200 years, Princess Yao Yin explained the situation in a polite and restrained manner. However, how could these old monsters listen? King-grade secret treasures were rare in the first place. A king-grade secret treasure containing a lightning-attributed flame was even harder to find. As for subduing a lightning-attributed flame, that was even more impossible. The strange flames that existed in the world would be taken away the moment they appeared. They were even harder to obtain than secret treasures. If these old monsters had these two things, they would not have caused such a ruckus. Hehe. Princess Yao Yin, there is no need for you to worry about our lives. Just tell us if you will let us in or not. The five poison devils' lips moved a few times. Then, a short old man less than 1 meter tall stood on a stone block and questioned Yao Yin without any trace of politeness. Several of the invited cultivators focused their gazes on Yao Yin. They wanted to see how she would deal with this. If she could not even deal with such a small problem, then she would not be able to do so. If she could not deal with such a small problem, then it meant that the rumors were true. The merfolk race was indeed weakened. When they entered Neptune's palace, they would not be able to restrain them. Yao Yin felt very frustrated. This old fellow was too overboard. To think that he directly threatened her. She said with a cold expression. In that case, I'll tell you directly. If you are not invited, you will not let us in. A strong wind blew, and a baleful aura spread out. The short old man unleashed his aura as a superior-grade martial sage, without holding anything back. In an instant, gusts of chilly wind began to blow, and the wind was accompanied by nauseating howls of anguish. How laughable! Merfolk race, do you really think that others do not know about your current situation? The short old man smiled coldly, and his eyes flickered with killing chi. He looked at Yao Yin and said, Little girl, don't be ungrateful when I give you face. I gave you face by addressing you as princess. If I don't give you face, who do you think you are? You are just a stinky fish. Today you will have to let us in even if you don't want to. Otherwise, don't blame me for being ruthless. I will make sure that there are a few more dead fish in this plaza. Tonight we will have barbecued mermaids for dinner. With the five poison devils supporting him in secret, this short old man was very arrogant. He also had his own plans in mind. If he helped the five poison devil like this, when they entered Neptune's palace, the other party would definitely take care of him. There would be many benefits. You are too much. Do you really think that there is no one in my merfolk race? When Mu Yin saw Yao Yan's face turn red with anger, he could no longer endure it. He pushed off the ground and leaped forward. Mu Lei, who was at the side, could not hold him back. Yao Yin could not help but feel anxious. It's over. Mu Yin is not a match for the other party. Now, not only will he injure himself, but the merfolk race will also lose face. This is exactly what the other party wants. Indeed, even the medicine god Valley's Mr. Qin, who had been resting with his eyes closed, could not help but open his eyes when he sensed this scene. A cold smile appeared on his face. Don't hold back. Teach him a ruthless lesson. Otherwise, this group of merfolk will not be able to see the situation clearly. The five poison devils' lips moved as he sent a voice projection. When the short old man received the instruction, he revealed a cruel smile on his wrinkled face. The heavenly sage laws in his body surged, and his aura grew stronger. A baleful aura soared into the sky, forming a scarlet cloud in the air. Bang! Mu Yun, who was flying over, received only one palm strike from the old man. After that, he vomited blood and fell to the ground, unable to get up. The short old man laughed loudly and said, "You are just a nobody, and you dare to jump around as you please. Do you really think that you are someone important?" The expressions of Princess Yao Yan and the others all sank. Several of the invited cultivators shook their heads as well. However, just as the short old man spoke, a melodious saber hum rang out behind him. A powerful saber came out of its scabbard, and a cold wind carrying an unparalleled sharp saber intent attacked. Oh no! An extreme sense of danger welled up in the short old man's heart. He immediately gave up on gathering his aura, and pushed off the stone stool, wanting to leave quickly. Chapter 901. However, it was already too late. While the old man was focused on raising his aura and taking down Mu Yun in one move, he had already given Xiaoqun too much time, too many opportunities. The price he paid was his life. A cold light flickered, and a bright saber light looked like the blazing sun, illuminating the entire plaza and dazzling everyone's eyes. When everyone's vision recovered, they saw that the short old man had already been chopped in half. He died without a complete corpse, not even a breath remaining. When everyone saw the black-robed cultivator on the stone stool, they all sucked in a breath of cold air. Where did this fellow come from? Could they not tell that the 5 Poison Devil and the Medicine God Valley's Mr. Qin were standing behind the short old man? To think that Xiaoqun directly killed the short old man. Even the merfolk race would not dare to be so ruthless. To think that he showed no mercy, directly killing the short old man. Qi Wuxia goggled in disbelief. He exclaimed in shock. This fellow really made a move. He did not hesitate to offend the 5 Poison Devil and Mr. Qin, directly killing their representative. Long Fei had guessed that Xiaoqun would make a move. However, he had not expected Xiaoqun to be so ruthless, killing someone the moment he made a move, treating a superior grade martial sage like a cat or dog, killing him on a whim. Yao Yan's face lit up in joy. Indeed, Xiaoqun made a move as agreed. When he said he would not leave, truly helping them to the end. The surroundings fell silent. The many cultivators with lightning-attributed flames that were invited all revealed uncertain expressions. The 2 youths from the Penglai Sea also cast their gazes over, revealing curious expressions. However, the 5 Poison Devil and Mr. Qin, who had kept his eyes closed, could no longer remain silent. Xiaoqun killed that short old man in one move, suppressing the arrogance of this group of people. Several of the Primal Chaos Domain loose cultivators with surging auras earlier withdrew their baleful auras. These loose cultivators always cherished their lives. Now that they saw danger, they naturally did not dare to make a move. Otherwise, they would end up like this short old man, dying without knowing why. That would be a great loss. The 5 Poison Devil stood up, and stood on the stone block. Then he looked at Xiaoqun and said coldly, "Sir, what is the meaning of this? We only want to seek an explanation from the merfolk race. Why do you have to stand out?" Under the hood, Xiaoqun's expression could not be seen clearly. Only his cold voice could be heard. What explanation? This is the merfolk race's own matter. What right do you have to say such things? You, the old 5 Poisons Devil could not help but feel stifled. He had already lowered himself, but the other party still did not give him any face, directly looking down on him in front of everyone. The people present could not help but suck in a breath of cold air. This fellow was really arrogant. Unexpectedly, he dared to speak to the 5 Poison Devil like that. Even some Grandmaster-level martial sages would not be willing to offend the 5 Poison Devil. The middle-aged Mr. Qin narrowed his eyes. He found that he could not see through this person. His cultivation was clearly not high, but he was like a deep pool of water, unfathomable. Xiaoqun did not give off any special aura. However, his indistinct demeanor was vaguely stronger than that of several Grandmaster-level martial sages. Naturally, the 5 Poison Devil noticed this as well. Otherwise, given his temper, he would not have bothered speaking nonsense with Xiaoqun. He would have just gone up and killed Xiaoqun first. The 5 Poison Devil suppressed the rage in his heart, and did not rush to make a move. He said sullenly, "Whether I am qualified or not is not for you to decide. On the other hand, you are a sneaky fellow. You do not even dare to show your face, yet you dare to interfere in this matter. You still do not know who you offended, right? Xiaochen casually removed his hood and revealed his true appearance. Discussions immediately rang out. The white-robed King Xiaochen. Unexpectedly, it was him who made a move. No wonder he dared to attack so fearlessly. I heard that he will be formally conferred king in Bushan Palace soon. The seal on Neptune was left behind by the Qing Emperor back then. Now that there is a problem, it makes sense for him to interfere in this matter. However, he is still too bold. The 5 Poison Devil and this Mr. Qin are not easy to deal with. Upon seeing Xiaochen's appearance, someone immediately recognized him. The news of Xiaochen being conferred king had spread like wildfire. He was the most outstanding talent of the younger generation. Xiaochen had not appeared for 2 years. However, the moment he appeared, his name immediately shook the world. He clearly already had the elegance of the Qing Emperor back then. Xiaochen looked at the clearly startled 5 Poison Devil and said indifferently, 5 Poison Devil, the rumors about you in the primal chaos domain are very miraculous. Even Grandmaster-level martial sages are not willing to exchange moves with you. Let me test you out and see how miraculous you are. Let me see who I offended. The bright moon rose into the sky, and the night sky turned upside down. To everyone's surprise, Xiaochen took the initiative to charge at the 5 Poison Devil. A cold wind blew, and snowflakes drifted down. Xiaochen's figure flashed, and he arrived before the 5 Poison Devil. The 5 Poison Devil did not see Xiaochen's figure. He only saw a saber light turn into a cold wind and charge through the snowflakes, moving as fast as lightning. The 5 Poison Devil quickly circulated his law energy and stretched out his hand to block this saber light. A strong wind blew like a snowstorm in all directions. The snowflakes were like sabers, boundlessly sharp. The people in the plaza quickly scattered, not wanting to be swept up by the shock waves of this battle. Pain, bone-piercing pain. The 5 Poison Devil, who was on the stone block, relied on his deep cultivation to block Xiaochen's palm strike, not taking even half a step back. However, the energy in Xiaochen's palm strike was like a saber stabbing into the 5 Poison Devil, causing him to grit his teeth in pain, and his arms trembled. Was it a palm strike or a saber strike? The 5 Poison Devil was somewhat confused. Bang! 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 Xiaochen took a step back and immediately charged over again. In the blink of an eye, he exchanged 100 moves with the 5 Poison Devil. Snowflakes shattered and shot out with a strong light. That was the bright saber light shining. It looked exceptionally bright when contrasted with the bright moon. After 100 moves, Xiaochen's right hand had turned completely black. The poison spread like insects, trying to infiltrate his blood. The 5 Poison Devil was in so much pain that he no longer dared to clash head-on with Xiaochen. He left the stone block and retreated a kilometer. When he saw Xiaochen's pitch-black palm, he smiled coldly and said, "Does your arm feel like it's being pricked by needles or like venomous insects biting you? So what if you are a descendant of the Qing Emperor, and people call you the White-Robed King? Even if you are poisoned by my shadowless poison, you will still be at my mercy." The 5 Poison Devil's arm was in so much pain that it nearly went numb. However, he still laughed loudly, feeling incredibly cocky. Why were Grandmaster-level martial sages not willing to fight with him? It was because his shadowless poison was formless and traceless. There was no way to avoid it. As long as one fought with him, they would definitely be poisoned. Unless one could kill him in one move, even if one managed to do so, they would end up dying together. Xiaochen looked at his pitch-black right hand, at the black, insect-like poison, and entered deep thought. As for the pain in his arm, he did not even frown. This bit of pain was nothing compared to the lightning tribulations he experienced when tempering his physical body. Boom! Suddenly, his entire right hand exploded. Half of Xiaochen's arm was mangled, looking very horrifying. Xiaochen turned a deaf ear to this. He squinted and looked carefully. The moment the black poison appeared in the air after his flesh and skin split open, it immediately vanished. However, in that 1,000th of an instant, Xiaochen saw it clearly. It was venomous insects as thin as a strand of hair. They were the same color as the air, numbering in the thousands. The flesh and skin on Xiao Chen's right arm quickly grew back bit by bit. Soon his arm was as good as new, white and smooth, with no trace of the black poison. A peak rank 3 sage body. When the 5 poison devil saw this scene, he could not help but exclaim. Unexpectedly, Xiao Chen had a peak rank 3 sage body. Using such a tyrannical method, he cleansed the shadowless poison completely. With a thought, the purple lightning talisman turned into a flame and burned on his arm. With a casual wave, sizzling sounds rang out in the air. Many of those tiny venomous insects that even Xiao Chen's spiritual sense could not detect were burned to death. It looks like the flame of the will is still able to capture these venomous insects. After finding a way to deal with it, electric light flashed under Xiao Chen's feet. Then he did not hesitate to charge over again. Using his body as a saber, Xiao Chen sent out boundless saber lights flickering in the cold wind and the drifting snowflakes. Every time he came into contact with the 5 poison devil, be it his shoulder or his palm, Xiao Chen would envelop them with his will flame. This way, the 5 poison devil's shadowless poison became mere decoration. Damn it! The 5 poison devil retreated continuously. In the end, there was not a single spot on his body that was not covered. Every part of his body that came into contact with Xiao Chen felt knife-like energy scraping his skin and cutting his flesh. Furthermore, this saber was extremely sharp. With just a slight movement, it opened a long wound. On the surface, the 5 poison devil and Xiao Chen seemed to be evenly matched. However, wounds covered his body, and the intense pain was unbearable. Mr. Qin, why are you still watching the show? After being knocked back by Xiao Chen's blade-like palm strike, the 5 poison devil finally could not help asking Mr. Qin for help. Mr. Qin frowned. He could not tell that the 5 poison devil had been forced into such a state. However, just as Mr. Qin wanted to help, 2 figures floated down from the air and blocked his way. Long Fei opened his folding fan and slowly released the death chi from his body. He said, Mr. Qin, as a senior, you should not do something so humiliating, right? Bullying the weak is already wrong in the first place. Ganging up on him is even more wrong. Wuxia chuckled and said, It's hard to say. I can see that the killing chi in Mr. Qin's eyes is about to leap out. Clearly you are trying to bully the weak, ganging up on him. These 2 bastards, Mr. Qin cursed in his heart. These 2 fellows blocked his way and even echoed each other in insulting him. However, these 2 were not people to offend. One was the White-Bone Sovereign's descendant, and the other was the Muddy Sky Gate's young master. If the 2 worked together, he would have no problem blocking them. When the 5 poison devil saw that Mr. Qin was blocked, he decided to retreat. He spat out a long strand of black smoke, forcing back Xiao Chen. Then he said ferociously, Xiao Chen, just you wait. I will settle this debt with you sooner or later. However, right after the 5 poison devils spoke, he suddenly discovered a snowflake drifting out of the black smoke. This snowflake condensed into the shape of a flower, and gently tapped the 5 poison devil's chest with all the energy of the winter saber. The 5 poison devil vomited a mouthful of blood, and went flying back. A layer of frost covered his hair, eyebrows, lips and body. Sensing the terrible state of his body, the 5 poison devil was startled. He no longer had the earlier arrogance, so he turned and fled in a panic. Chapter 902. Where can you flee to under the bright moon? Xiao Chen casually waved his hand, and the bright moon scattered its light. Then a saber light streaked across the sky. The night was gone, and the light returned to the plaza. Then, a corpse chopped in half fell from the sky. The 2 halves of the 5 poison devil's corpse fell to the ground from a high altitude, shattering into pieces. Mr. Qin, who was facing off against Long Fei and Wuxia, frowned heavily. This was truly unexpected. The famous 5 poison revenant of the primal chaos domain died just like that. However, his death had a lot to do with Xiao Chen seeing through his shadowless poison. Mr. Qin had cultivated his abilities openly, not unorthodox methods. If this Xiao Chen ran into me, it would not be so easy. However, I can't do anything alone. Even if I can block Xiao Chen, I cannot block the others of the merfolk race. Furthermore, there are still 2 dogs in front. They are not to be trifled with, either. In a short instant, Mr. Qin thought of many things. The conclusion he came to could not help feeling somewhat dispirited. The 5-poison revenant was already dead. It was practically impossible for him to enter the palace of Neptune. Mr. Qin felt too dissatisfied. He had come all the way from the profound domain, just to make a trip to the palace of Neptune. Now that he was blocked outside, it was truly frustrating. Mr. Qin looked past Qi Wuxia and Long Fei and stared at Xiao Chun. It is this fellow. If not for this fellow's sudden appearance, this situation would not have developed. Just focus on being the white-robed king. Why bother with this matter? Xiao Chun, you spoiled my plans today. This old man will remember you. From now on, the Medicine God Valley will be at odds with you. Just wait for the Medicine God Valley to hunt you down. Knowing that he could no longer enter the palace of Neptune, Mr. Qin left these words and turned to leave. Whoosh! However, the moment Mr. Qin moved, Xiao Chun blocked his way. Mr. Qin's figure turned illusory, and 9 beams of fiery light spun above his head. Heat waves surged out. However, that figure blocked his way. No matter how Mr. Qin moved, he could not shake him off. What do you want? Mr. Qin said angrily. Indeed, what was Xiao Chun trying to do? Not only did Mr. Qin not understand, but many of the invited cultivators could not either. Mr. Qin had already been forced to leave, so why was he still blocking his way? Could it be that? Did he want to kill even Mr. Qin? Thinking of this, everyone's heart couldn't help but sink. This was a bit too ruthless. The peach blossoms bloomed, the summer sun rose, the autumn wind blew, and the winter snow drifted. Flawless 4 seasons. Without saying a word, Xiao Chun directly executed flawless 4 seasons. The 4 seasons circled around him, growing endlessly. A boundless saber intent chopped down as he tilted his body. I use my body as a saber, my thoughts as a saber, and the 4 seasons as a saber. I am the saber, and the saber is me. When this chop landed, it displayed the essence of the flawless saber Dao. Mr. Qin merged the 9 types of flames above his head into one, and pushed out with both palms. Each flame contained a vast amount of energy. He had refined them for many years. It would not be an exaggeration to say that they were his life flames. Just one strand of flame could split mountains. When the 9 types of flames merged, its might increased exponentially. One could even vaguely see a trace of spirituality in it. The 2's killing moves clashed in the air within a breath's time. Flames surged, and a rain of fire immediately fell on the plaza. Every drop of fire that fell blasted a huge pit in the plaza. The vast plaza was blasted into smithereens, completely reduced to rubble. The smell of hot flames lingered in the air. The cultivators who had already retreated far away looked up, and saw Mr. Qin retreating miserably from the flames. Mr. Qin showed extremely horrified expressions. In the clash, Mr. Qin actually lost. Pa! Before Mr. Qin could react, a figure leaped out of the flames. In the time it took for a spark to fly, this figure arrived before Mr. Qin and slapped his face. 5 bloody marks immediately appeared on Mr. Qin's face. The resounding slap stunned everyone present. As a Grandmaster-level alchemist of the Medicine God Valley, Mr. Qin held a high position. Normally, many people tried to curry favor with him. Several experts sought him out to refine medicinal pills. Even Grandmaster-level martial sages stronger than Mr. Qin did not dare to be impudent when they saw Mr. Qin. They had no choice but to submit to him. This was the benefit of being an alchemist. However, today, Xiao Chun slapped Mr. Qin in front of everyone, a resounding slap. After Mr. Qin went flying, he touched the bloody marks on his face. He appeared somewhat dispirited as he looked at Xiao Chun. You dare to slap me? Xiao Chun found this funny. He glanced at Mr. Qin coldly and said indifferently, "Why can't I slap you? How much stronger do you think you are than the 5-poison devil? This slap is to tell you that not just anyone can spout nonsense before me, saying that they want to kill me the moment they open their mouths. You are not convinced? Even if you are not convinced, you have to endure it. This is not the Medicine God Valley or the Profound Domain. It is not your turn to behave atrociously here. The world is very vast, and there are many capable people. In the future, don't think too highly of yourself when you go out." Mr. Qin found it hard to endure. He could not help wanting to stake his life on the line. Even if he could not defeat Xiaochen, he would at least skin the other party alive. However, even though Mr. Qin wanted to stake his life on the line, he thought about how difficult it was for him to achieve what he had today. It was not worth it to just leave him here. However, this rage was hard to swallow, hard to endure. Seeing Mr. Qin's conflicted expression, Xiaochen immediately guessed what the other party was thinking. He could not help feeling even more disdain for Mr. Qin. Mr. Qin did not even have this bit of sharpness. Did he really dare to go to Neptune's palace? Even if he went, he would just be nourishment, increasing the strength of the evil demon clans for nothing. Still not scramming? Do you want me to do it personally? Xiao Chun shouted coldly when he saw the other party hesitating, wanting to leave but not wanting to leave at the same time. He could not be bothered to continue watching. Good, good, good. Xiao Chen's shout startled Mr. Qin, startling him into thinking of retreating. He wanted to say a few more words before leaving. However, when Mr. Qin thought about it, he realized that he had been slapped for being too talkative. He said good 3 times in a row, but did not dare to say anything else. After losing all his face, Mr. Qin left in a crestfallen manner without saying a word. Xiaochen looked around. Without saying anything, the surrounding figures quickly followed Mr. Qin away, after chopping the 5 poison devil in half, and sending Mr. Qin away with one slap. How could these uninvited loose cultivators dare to linger around? On the tall platform, the merfolk race old men and Princess Yaoyan all heaved a sigh of relief. Today's matter was all thanks to Xiaochen. Otherwise, if a group of powerful loose cultivators caused a ruckus, the merfolk race would have suffered heavy losses. More importantly, the merfolk race had lost face. After they entered Neptune's palace, the invited cultivators would not listen to their advice. Qi Wuxia clicked his tongue and said, "That was a good slap. Some of these old fellows really think too highly of themselves. It's fine if they left, but they still had to run their mouths, spouting nonsense in front of so many people." Long Fei nodded as well and said, "This slap brought out the prestige of the Blue Dragon King. A major character should have the bearing of a major character. If everyone said that to Xiaochen in the future, it would be really vexing." Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The people far away from the plaza slowly descended. Aside from the uninvited loose cultivators, there were significantly fewer people, only about 11 or 12. There were still people in the air who had not descended yet. They were 2 youths from the Penglai Immortal Island. These 2 were not invited either. When they saw the earlier scene, they did not intend to leave. "The 2 of you seem to have come uninvited as well. Why are you still not leaving?" The one who spoke was the top true inheritor of the Xianshui sect. His name was Lang Taotian. He was a rather famous outstanding talent in the sea region near the chaotic demonic sea. However, he was far from the continent, so not many people knew about him. "That's right. I did not invite you. What are you doing here? What's so special about the people of the Penglai Sea? Immortal arts have long since declined. This is the martial epoch. Don't think that just because you comprehended some superficial immortal arts, you are an immortal chasing after the stars and the moon." After seeing Xiaochen's ruthless methods, the attitude of this group of invited cultivators changed significantly, becoming biased toward the merfolk race. Princess Yaoyan looked at these 2 youths, waiting for their answer. Everyone in this vast sea region knew about the Penglai Sea. There were all sorts of stories about it. "Ha! Everyone, there is no need to be so hostile. The 2 of us are different from those loose cultivators. We come from the Penglai Sea's Wendao Palace. We came out to experience the world this time, and heard about the merfolk race. We came to help sincerely," the azure-robed youth on the right said calmly and unhurriedly. "Do you have a lightning-attributed flame?" Yaoyan asked directly. If there was a lightning-attributed flame, it was not impossible to let them in. No matter what their goal was, as long as they had a lightning-attributed flame, they could kill some evil demon clones in Neptune's palace and help share the pressure. The lips of the youth on the left curled up in a proud expression. He said indifferently, "Naturally there is. However, don't be scared silly when you see my lightning-attributed flame." Boom. This person opened his palm, and a clump of purple lightning-attributed flame burned fiercely. A fist-sized origin flame flickered with crackling electricity within it. The king of lightning attributed flames, the purple thunder true fire. Good. He condensed a sizable origin flame. Even Grandmaster-level martial sages would not be able to withstand the full power of this purple thunder true fire. These two came prepared. We really underestimated them. When the azure-robed youth on the right saw the expressions of the group, he felt slightly pleased. He looked at Yao Yin and said, "Your Highness, what do you think of my junior brother's purple thunder true fire? With this purple thunder true fire, we can sweep away all the evil demon clones. However, it is not that simple to get our help. We need the merfolk race's treasure, the Thorn's sovereign circlet. Furthermore, in this operation, you will have to listen to our commands. We will also distribute the treasures of Neptune's palace. We will also be in charge of the core jade pendant that controls the entry and exit of Neptune." The azure-robed youth from the Wundao Palace spoke for a long time. His words immediately caused the joyful expressions of the merfolk race cultivators to sink. This appetite seemed boundlessly huge. Yaoyan did not get angry. Instead, she smiled and said, "I cannot make the decision on this matter." "Who can make the decision?" the azure-robed youth asked. Princess Yaoyan did not say anything. She only pointed to the sky. Xiaochun had already removed his cloak, revealing his white robes as he stood quietly in the air. Chapter 903. The person with the purple thunder true fire mocked and said proudly, "Who does he think he is? He is just a boorish fellow, using the name of the Qing Emperor for nothing. Does he have a lightning-attributed flame? Does he have a lightning-attributed flame that is comparable to my king of lightning-attributed flames, the purple thunder true fire? Does he dare to reveal his lightning-attributed flame? Even without me making a move, he will feel ashamed of his inferiority." Feel ashamed of my inferiority? What a good feel ashamed of my inferiority. When Xiaochun heard this, he could not help but reveal a playful smile. The descendant of the Qing Emperor was very awe-inspiring earlier. However, my junior brother's purple thunder true fire is the king of lightning-attributed flames. What does he have to compete with my junior brother? The azure-robed man laughed coldly as he looked at Xiaochun with disdain. Clearly, this azure-robed man was jealous of Xiaochun's earlier performance. A cocky look flashed in the eyes of the azure-robed man's junior brother. He withdrew the purple flame, concentrating all of it in his origin flame. Then he tossed it out. The fist-sized origin flame released a dazzling and piercing purple light as it soared into the sky. As it hung high in the sky, it looked like a purple sun. Under the illumination of the light, faint purple thunderclouds formed in the surroundings. Like the stars surrounding the moon, the thunderclouds surrounded the origin flame, making it even more dazzling. The azure-robed man looked at Xiaochun and said with a grin, "Why are you not saying anything? Weren't you very arrogant earlier? My purple thunder true fire is like the sun in the sky, the king of lightning-attributed flames. White-robed king, are you not going to show off your purple flame?" The azure-robed man purposely emphasized the words, "white-robed king," making them sound very awkward. When the invited cultivators below saw this azure-robed man being so arrogant, they all revealed dissatisfied expressions. However, when they saw the blazing origin flame, they all sighed speechlessly. The purple thunder true fire was the king of lightning-attributed flames. Furthermore, this azure-robed man had condensed an origin flame the size of a fist. That was even rarer. Indeed, he had the qualifications to be arrogant. They had no choice but to submit. This bastard is too arrogant. Where did he get his purple thunder true fire? I remember that there has not been a purple thunder true fire in the world for many years already. Some of the flame seeds from the ancient era were also destroyed. Qi Wuxia said, feeling aggrieved. Long Fei's expression was solemn. His lightning fire was called the Earth Shadow Lightning Fire. This was a kind of thunder fire that was born in Nine Hells Purgatory. He had accidentally discovered it when he was searching for the dark nether bone flame. This kind of flame was very destructive to spirits, but he was not so sure about its effects on evil spirits. It was of a very low rank, incomparable to the purple thunder true fire. He probably used some kind of cultivation technique to refine it. I heard that the Penglai Sea has a thunder overflowing perception. The person who cultivates this cultivation technique can produce all sorts of lightning-attributed flames. There is a chance that a king of lightning-attributed flames like the purple thunder true fire will appear. Long Fei was knowledgeable. He had read many ancient books and had some understanding of all kinds of things. The temperament of a scholar did not appear for no reason. Xiaoqin is doomed this time. Qi Wuxia sighed. Although he was not willing to admit it, once the king of lightning-attributed flames appeared, what kind of lightning-attributed flame could defeat it? Seeing that Xiaoqin did not make any moves, the azure-clad man could not help but laugh loudly. Princess Yaoyan, are you still placing your hopes on this person? Us senior and junior brothers are the true saviors of your merfolk race. You cannot rely on anyone else. You can only agree to our request. Boom. Right after the azure-clad man spoke, a bright purple light suddenly flashed in the sky, dazzling everyone's eyes. In that instant, everyone's eyes were filled with purple light. It was like needles piercing their eyes, forcing them to close their eyes involuntarily. This was the self-protection of the eyes. When ordinary people saw something dangerous flying towards their eyes, their first reaction was to close their eyes. When cultivators succeeded in their cultivation, their reactions became faster. Their eyes became more sensitive, allowing them to close their eyes in an even shorter time. When they carefully opened their eyes to take a look, they saw that the situation in the sky had not changed. It was still a fist-sized purple thunder origin flame, shining like the sun in the sky. However, it was much brighter than before, more crystalline and translucent, filled with a strange charm. With one glance, one could tell that it was extraordinary. Strange, why did that person's purple thunder true fire's origin flame suddenly become so much brighter? It is at least 10 times stronger. I can't even open my eyes. I don't dare to look at it at all. It feels like I'm being pricked by needles. The people of the Penglai Sea are too incredible. It's over. Xiaoqin is finished. How is he going to compete? Something's not right. Suddenly someone exclaimed, "Look! There is another clump of purple thunder true fire behind. However, its light is very dim, so no one noticed it." When they looked carefully, there was indeed another clump of purple thunder true fire in the sky. Several people reacted. When they thought of that dazzling light from earlier, their expressions turned grave. Could it be that this new round of purple thunder true fire was released by Xiaoqin? Someone reacted and quickly looked at the two people from the Penglai Sea. With this look, this guess was confirmed. Those two people's faces turned green. When they saw that crystalline and translucent origin flame flowing with a spiritual light, they were completely stunned. A light flashed on Xiaoqin's forehead, and a purple talisman entered the origin flame. In that instant, the light became 100 times brighter. The other clump of purple flame vanished, its light completely covered. This embarrassment was simply too great. How could that person continue to take out his purple thunder true fire? Then he quickly put it away in a crestfallen manner. When he faced the gazes of the surrounding people pointing at him, he felt even more ashamed. Although his purple thunder true fire was the same size as Xiaoqin's origin flame, its quality was like heaven and earth, like the difference between clouds and mud. When he thought about his earlier shameless boasting, he found it laughable. Those who were good at fighting would not get angry. Xiaoqin had been waiting for this opportunity, a chance to beat the other party down. The greatest punishment for insulting others was not to be slapped in the face by others, but to be slapped in the face by oneself. Furthermore, it was a resounding slap until the other party did not even dare to say another word. What was being ashamed of one's inferiority? What was being ashamed of one's inferiority? This was being ashamed of one's inferiority. Princess Yaoyan smiled faintly and said at an appropriate time, "Do the two of you have anything else to say?" The azure-robed man and his junior brother remained silent. How could they dare to say anything else? They no longer had any arrogance left. Qi Wuxia laughed loudly and said, "How delightful! Ashamed of one's inferiority. Truly ashamed of one's inferiority. I like this style. Brother Xiao is Brother Xiao. I let you jump, and I'll wait for you to jump, and I'll watch you cry out. I'll wait for you to jump the highest and shout the loudest, and then I'll let you slap yourself back. A trace of melancholy appeared in Long Fei's eyes. Using Xiaochen as a target was too sorrowful. Trump card after trump card, Xiaochen became increasingly unfathomable. With a thought, Xiaochen returned the purple flame to his eyes, and the purple lightning talisman to his forehead. Then he gently drifted over and landed beside Princess Yaoyan. Once again, Xiaochen silently expressed his stance. He stood on the merfolk race's side. Princess Yaoyan nodded gently at Xiaochen. Then she said, "If you all have nothing to say, I have something to say. These words are for everyone here as well. It is true that there are supreme treasures in Neptune's palace. My merfolk race has already collected everything that might have been discovered. I'm afraid that I will have to disappoint everyone." As Xiaochen expected, no one showed any expression on their faces. This was something that anyone could figure out without using their brains. The merfolk race was not stupid. Since they had touched the seal, they would definitely take away everything that they could discover. What they anticipated were undiscovered treasures. The laws of space and time intertwined in Neptune's palace, forming a world of its own. It was so vast that it seemed boundless. The merfolk race was in a rush, so they would definitely miss something. The Xianshui Sex Lang Taotian said, "Neptune's corpse should not have been touched, right?" This was also what everyone anticipated the most. Everyone had extraordinary backgrounds, so they did not care about ordinary treasures. The thing on the Sea Emperor's body was the most important thing that attracted these people. Yao Yin answered honestly, "Neptune's corpse is sealed in a gilded coffin. I do not know where it is, nor have I searched for it. It was good that it was not touched. As long as they entered, they would be able to find it." Clearing his throat, Yao Yin continued, "Yao Yin knows everyone's true purpose for coming here. After entering Neptune's palace, if anyone wants to move alone, I will not interfere. However, if there is any danger, the merfolk race will not be responsible. Of course, the merfolk race will not ask for the treasures that you find in Neptune's palace. If anyone is willing to accompany young Master Xiao to seal the evil demon's main body, aside from what they find along the way, the merfolk race will reward them greatly. Everyone has seen the might of young Master Xiao's purple thunder true fire for themselves. As for how to decide, just think about it." Xiaochen nodded to himself. Yao Yan's way of doing things was rather good. In any case, as long as these people entered, they would share some of the pressure from the evil demon. It was up to them to decide. Those who wanted to take risks would move alone. Those who wanted to be safer would follow Xiaochen and truly contribute to sealing the evil demon. No one objected, so Yao Yin started to distribute the jade pendants. With these jade pendants, one could break through the outer seal and enter Neptune's palace. The jade pendants were the mother jade pendants, and the mother jade pendants were the core jade pendants. With the core jade pendant, one could sense the location of the child jade. If there was danger, one could send the information to the mother jade pendant. When it was the turn of the two people from the Prenglai Sea, Yao Yin did not hand over the jade pendants in his hand. The azure-clad man hesitated for a while before saying, "Your Highness, please give us a jade pendant as well. With our strength, we will definitely be able to kill several evil demon clans and contribute to the merfolk race." Qi Wuxia toyed with the jade pendant in his hand and laughed heartlessly. "Did I hear wrong? Isn't this a major character of the Prenglai Sea? Earlier, weren't you very arrogant, looking down on this and that? Why are you lowering your voice and asking for this jade pendant?" After that, his face sank, and he imitated in an exaggerated manner, "My junior brother has the purple thunder true fire, the king of lightning attributed flames. You merfolk race cannot count on anyone but us." He imitated it so vividly that the group of people around him laughed. The eyes of the azure-clad man's junior brother spewed fire. He was about to attack when the azure-clad man stopped him. Qi Wuxia chuckled and said, "Don't attack. Those words were said by your senior brother, not me. I am very afraid. The purple thunder true fire, the king of lightning attributed flames, is very, very powerful. It is like the sun in the sky, invisible to the naked eye." The words "invisible to the naked eye" caused the surrounding people to roar with laughter again. The azure-clad man raged, but he endured it and did not flare up. He whispered a few more words to Yao Yan, and made a few promises before finally obtaining the 2 jade pendants. Chapter 904. Xiaochen felt a malicious gaze. He looked up and discovered that it was the immortal cultivator with the purple thunder true fire. He was currently sizing him up with malicious intent. Xiaochen glanced at him and did not mind. Others did not understand immortal cultivation, so it would be difficult for them to deal with these two. However, Xiaochen guaranteed that he would teach the other party an unforgettable lesson. After the jade medallions were distributed, Princess Yao Yan placed the core jade medallion in Xiaochen's hand. This time, I'll leave it to young Master Xiao. Your Highness, do you intend to go in personally? Xiaochen did not reject the jade medallion as he received it. Yes. After all, I have been in there once before, and am familiar with the terrain. Without me leading the way, it will take more time to find the evil demon's main body in Neptune. Including Xiaochen and Yao Yan, a total of 20-odd cultivators entered Neptune. These 20 people either had lightning-attributed flames or secret treasures with lightning-attributed flames. After they entered, they would be able to protect themselves and would not end up as nourishment for the evil demon for no reason. Yao Yan explained the things to take note of again. Then, she led the group out of this dreamlike castle and into the deep sea. They could not breathe or speak underwater. They could only circulate their energies to breathe. To speak, they had to condense their voices into strings. Although it drained a lot of energy, it was not a big problem for this group of martial sage experts. Even without any supplies, this group of people could live well at the bottom of the sea for at least half a year. Martial sages were extraordinary, nourishing heavenly sage laws. As they breathed, they could absorb large amounts of spiritual energy and convert it into pure law energy. There was a huge difference between them and cultivators who had not advanced to martial sage yet. All sorts of strange things could be seen in the deep sea. There were sea beasts as large as mountains, strange fish in groups, sea trees rooted to the bottom, and many more. The group was not in the mood to look at this strange sight at the bottom of the sea. Under Princess Yao Yan's lead, the group advanced quickly. Half a day later, at an abandoned castle at the bottom of the sea, in the center of the ruined city, there was a strange scene. Pitch-black energy formed an iron walk-like light screen, upside down on the ground. Every 100 meters around the light screen, there were merfolk experts sitting cross-legged in the seawater with their eyes closed. All of them had solemn expressions on their faces. From time to time, they would send out surging power of laws into the pitch-black light barrier, causing it to become even tighter. Clearly, this was the outer seal of the Palace of Neptune. In order to maintain this seal, the merfolk had sent all their top masters over. But even so, the situation still didn't look optimistic. At the top of the light curtain stood 2 blue-robed emperor-rank powerhouses. Seeing the arrival of Yao Yan and the others, the 2 blue-robed emperor-rank powerhouses merely raised their eyelids, but did not come down. Although such a huge seal had already formed, it required a huge amount of energy to maintain at all times. Otherwise, it could collapse at any time. The 2 of them had to maintain the seal, and could not leave at all. Furthermore, this was not a long-term solution. Only by sealing the main body of the evil demon in the Palace of Neptune would they be able to rest easy. Otherwise, the outer seal would collapse sooner or later. When the evil demon's clone broke free, it would be a disaster for all the merfolk in the chaotic demonic sea. Originally, there was no need to put in so much effort. With the perfect seal that the Qing Emperor had laid back then, as long as it did not move, there would be no need to create an outer seal to seal the entire Palace of Neptune. However, the few powerhouses of the merfolk race were too greedy. They wanted to refine the entire Palace of Neptune and become the new generation of sovereign martial emperors, Neptune. In the end, the evil demon's main body schemed against them and suffered heavy losses. The 9 Emperor Wus all died in there. The seal that the Qing Emperor left loosened, so they had no choice but to add a huge barrier around the Palace of Neptune. Yao Yan, are these all people with lightning-attributed flames? A Grandmaster-level martial sage merfolk race old man took some time to land in front of Yao Yan and the others. There is a total of 20 people, all cultivators with lightning-attributed flames. The weakest of them is a medial-grade martial sage. This time, we will definitely be able to complete the seal. At that time, the seniors will not have to spend any more time on this outer seal. Yao Yan said calmly, a resolute expression in her eyes. I hope that is the case. Otherwise, the entire merfolk race will have to migrate. The old man did not think much of this group of people. He was very clear on how many of them came sincerely to help. After giving them a few words of encouragement, he did not say anything more. After the initial shock, the others revealed excited expressions in their eyes, clearly impatient. After hanging up the jade pendants, Yao Yan led the group into the inner part of the seal. Then they passed through the pitch-black barrier and entered. A sinister wind blew, silent and silent. The sky turned dark. This place was isolated from the seawater. When the group landed, they heaved a sigh of relief. After all, they were not of the merfolk race. After staying in the water for a long time, they would not be used to it. Jie. Another group of blood food. How comfortable. I want to eat. I want to eat. Before Xiao Chun and the others could find their footing, strange laughter rang out in their ears. They were all sharp voices saying, I want to eat. I want to eat. There were many black clouds floating in front of them like a violent gale. The black clouds were of different sizes, and there were at least 1,000 of them, densely packed together. When the group got closer, they discovered that each black cloud was an evil demon. Their silhouettes were similar to humans. However, their facial features were distorted, and their bodies were made of smoke. They looked extremely strange. Be careful. These are clones made of the evil demon's wills. Martial techniques will find it hard to injure them. Don't let them get close. Otherwise, if they enter your brain, even a god would not be able to save you. Yao Yan's expression turned serious. He placed the thorn sovereign circlet on his head and took out a short sword containing a lightning-attributed flame. The short sword was only about 1 meter long and covered in a layer of lightning-attributed flame. It was a king-grade secret treasure. However, it was much weaker than the extreme thunder sword. The lightning-attributed flame on it was clearly of a lower grade than the extreme thunder true flame. When the others saw the evil demon for the first time, they did not dare to be careless. Those who had lightning-attributed flames summoned them out and covered their entire bodies, not leaving any openings. Those who only had lightning-attributed secret treasures could not form such tight defenses. They only hovered their secret treasures above their heads, ready to attack at any time. As the battle approached, Xiao Chun finally had the time to check out the strength of the others. Aside from the 2 from the Prenglai Sea, there were 5 others that attracted Xiao Chun's attention. One of them was Lang Taotian, the top true inheritor of the Xianshui sect. He was indeed quite capable. The lightning-attributed flame that Lang Taotian refined was bright red. This kind of lightning-attributed flame was called the Blood-Kill Lightning Flame. It was not of a low grade, and was as famous as the Extreme Thunder True Flame. There were 2 youths, 1 male and 1 female, from the chaotic demonic sea's spirit-returning island. Their secret treasures were almost the same, a purple fire beacon lightning banner. However, there were some differences in the details. The one that attracted Xiao Chun's attention the most was an old man with deep cultivation. Several people in the group treated this person as their leader. According to Yao Yan's introduction, this old man was called Yin Qihai. These people all came from the same faction, the Northern Sea Alliance. After passing the chaotic demonic sea, there was an even vaster sea region. That was the true center of the oceanic world. It was called the Heavenly Starry Ocean, which meant that this boundless sea region could contain all the stars in the sky. The Northern Sea Alliance was a major faction in the northern part of the Heavenly Starry Ocean. It was an alliance formed by several peak sections. As for the Xianshui sect and Spirit Returning Island, they were just large sects at the periphery of the Heavenly Starry Ocean. Compared to a peak faction like the Northern Sea Alliance, there was still a clear gap. Yin Qihai wore black embroidered clothes. The secret treasure hovering above his head was a mirror containing a fierce lightning-attributed flame, looking very mysterious. Finally, there was a youth who was very low profile. He wore purple armor flickering with sparks of lightning-attributed flame. It did not look very mighty. However, Xiaochen estimated that the purple thunder treasure armor he wore was of the highest grade among all the people who came. This person also came from the heavenly starry ocean, and was a superior grade martial sage. His name was Lung Ao, but he did not have any pride in his bones. When he stood in the crowd, it was easy to overlook him. Not counting Long Fei and Qi Wuxia, the other cultivators could not compare to these five. Pusii. Pusii. Just as Xiaochen was thinking, the group started fighting the evil demon clans. The situation tilted to one side. The 1,000-odd evil demon clans flying over could not put up a fight against the various lightning-attributed flames. All of them burned to ashes. Haha. What evil demon clans? They are only SOSO. Xiaochen easily swept away this group of evil demon clans. Aside from a few scratches, the rest were unharmed. He killed the evil demon clans like he was chopping vegetables, killing one with each strike. Without even needing Xiaochen to make a move, he killed them all. Something's not right. The last time I came, I met with several evil demon clans that were hard to deal with. Why are they all just trash this time? Princess Yao Yin frowned heavily, not daring to advance. Raising his guard, Xiaochen extended out his spiritual sense, scanning the area again and again. Aside from some hazy clouds in the sky in front, he did not discover anything strange. However, he felt a pressure on his body. He kept feeling that something was not right. The others also felt that something was not right. They all sent out their mental energy, and did not discover anything. Only then did they relax. Furthermore, they had killed a large number of blood demons earlier, so the group's morale was high. Someone smiled and said, "Your Highness, you are probably overthinking. Our lightning-attributed flames are probably too loud, scaring away those powerful evil demon clans. If we do not enter Neptune's palace, we will not run into them." Perhaps that was the case. Yao Yin looked at the blurry silhouette of the palace at the limits of her vision. She said, "Let's go. No matter what, it is always good to be cautious." After advancing for a while, Xiaochen suddenly stopped and focused on the hazy clouds in the sky in front. The clouds were very thin, looking like mist. There did not seem to be anything wrong with them. However, when Xiaochen took a closer look, he simulated it in his heart. Then his expression changed drastically. If this hazy cloud was shrunk by 1,000 times, it would clearly be a distorted ghostly face with its mouth wide open, looking very ferocious. From a distance, it looked like the group had taken the initiative to walk into this huge mouth. "Be careful. Everyone move back. It is dangerous in front," Xiaochen quickly shouted. Then he circulated some of the dragon tone arts techniques. Xiaochen's voice was like thunder, entering everyone's minds. Those who reacted quickly and trusted Xiaochen more immediately took out their secret treasures and retreated. Chapter 905. However, there were also several people who were too slow to make a move or did not know what was going on. They showed confused expressions. The originally hazy clouds in the sky churned quickly and gathered continuously. In the blink of an eye, they formed an evil demon clone with a realistic body. The evil demon clone's twisted facial features showed a sinister smile, making everyone tremble in fear. Then it turned into 10 red beams of light and charged downwards. Immediately, 3 people could not dodge the red beams of light that suddenly appeared, and they entered their heads. The expected miserable shrieks did not happen immediately. The 3 cultivators whose heads were pierced by the red beams of light had confused expressions on their faces. Their appearances did not seem to have changed. Crunch! Crunch! Soon, chewing sounds came from the 3 people's heads. No words could describe the pained expressions on these 3 people's faces. Their facial features twisted together as they clutched their heads and rolled on the ground, letting out silent cries of anguish. The 3 of them pounded their heads hard. Their fingers scratched the skin on their faces, causing blood to flow out. However, they did not stop, scratching with all their might as if they wanted to pull out the things in their heads. Their faces turned even more horrifying than a monster's. The 3 martial sages, who were chatting cheerfully earlier, turned into something neither human nor ghost. The remaining cultivators all paled in fright, especially the cultivators who had luckily dodged the other 7 beams of light. All of them felt a chill run down their backs, and their legs trembled. If not for Xiao Chen's warning, they might have been the ones lying on the ground. The 7 beams of light still flying in the air were already pushed far away by the lightning-attributed flames of the others. When the 3 beams of red light flew out, the 3 cultivators on the ground were already swallowed up. Aside from their clothes, only a pool of blood remained, proof that the 3 of them had once existed. Gagaga. Comfortable. Very comfortable. Very comfortable. What a tasty blood meal. The 10 beams of red light merged and formed a scarlet figure. This scarlet figure was clearly different from the black smoke-like evil demon clone from earlier. Not only did its body look more solid, but its facial features were no longer blurry and twisted. One could vaguely make out its appearance. The most important thing was that one could feel its intelligence. Unlike the black smoke-like evil spirit that only knew how to shout, "I want to eat, I want to eat." It had more emotions and expressions. After the bloody figure finished devouring the 3 cultivators, spots of black appeared on its body. It seemed like it was on the verge of some kind of metamorphosis and could evolve further. Whoosh! Unexpectedly, after the red demon appeared, it glanced at the crowd and immediately fled into the distance. It did not stop at all. Everyone reacted. All sorts of lightning fire transformed into arrows, flood dragons, ferocious tigers, and so on. All of them flew towards the distant red evil demon. The red evil spirit laughed strangely again and again. Its body was hit by the lightning and fire, and it immediately split up that part of its body. It was hit many times, but it still escaped far away. Such a scene caused the crowd, whose confidence had soared earlier, to be unable to accept it. A streak of purple light flashed by, and with an even faster speed, it caught up to the red demon that was fleeing far away. It pierced through its head, and with a schwa sound, the red blood demon's entire body was set ablaze. How painful! This is the purple thunder true fire, the greatest nemesis of my race. The red evil demon howled miserably. Its body split up again and again, but it was to no avail. Purple flames continued to surround it, burning it to ashes in the air. The one who attacked was Xiao Chen. The title of the King of Lightning Fire was indeed extraordinary. Yao Yan said softly, "This is an evil demon clone that already has its own intelligence. It is different from those simple bodies of thought. It is even more difficult to deal with. This is only the lowest ranked one. The higher ranked ones are completely black. The higher ranked ones are like jade, snow white, and do not fear ordinary lightning fire." The red evil demon was actually the lowest ranked. The group could not help but be flabbergasted. This trip to Neptune was far more dangerous than they had imagined. The current evil demon clones actually know how to use stratagems to lower our guard. They are much smarter than the last time I came. Princess Yao Yan had a grave expression, clearly very worried. They raised their heads and looked into the distance. Under the dark sky, the vague silhouette of Neptune appeared at the limits of their vision. Xiao Chen patted Yao Yan's shoulder and said with a smile, "Let's go. Don't worry too much. This time, we managed to gather so many experts. The situation is much better than when you came alone." "Right, I was worrying too much. It will definitely work." Sensing the confidence in Xiao Chen's words, Yao Yan smiled and continued to lead the way. Following that, everyone was on high alert. No one dared to underestimate the evil demon clones. When they thought about the miserable state of the 3 earlier, no one was willing to follow in their footsteps. After that, they ran into a few more red evil demon clones. However, with their previous experience, they were not as flustered as they were at the start. Aside from one unlucky fellow, no one else fell by the time they reached Neptune. This is the Sea Monarch Palace? It is really majestic and tyrannical. I heard that the first generation Neptune used 10 stars to refine it. As they looked at the majestic palace in front, several people could not help sighing. Xiao Chen also looked around curiously, comparing this Neptune palace to the Heavenly Rock King's grave palace that he had seen in the past. Rumor had it that sovereign martial emperors had the ability to refine stars, and use them to refine a palace for themselves. The Neptune palace in front was completely dark blue, and as smooth as water. When one looked at it, they could see ripples moving like the waves of the sea. They could even hear the sound of waves. The palace was no more than 100 meters tall. It had a main palace and 8 side palaces that were connected seamlessly, forming a smooth curved whole. From a distance, this Neptune palace looked like a ferocious and tyrannical sea beast. Its entrance was a huge mouth filled with fangs. Compared to the Stargrave Palace, this Neptune palace looked much more exquisite. Furthermore, it had a certain spirituality to it, making it feel like it was not an inanimate object. However, this was normal. Although the Heavenly Rock King and Neptune were both sovereign martial emperors, the difference in strength was not as simple as that. We have arrived at the Neptune Palace. Will everyone follow us to the main palace and seal the evil demon's main body, or will you take the risk and go to the side palaces? It is time to decide. Yao Yan looked at the crowd and waited calmly for an answer. Haha. We have already said that we are here to help the merfolk race seal the evil demon's main body. Naturally, we are willing to follow. Xiao Chun was somewhat surprised that the first to express their stance were the two from the Penglai Sea. Furthermore, they chose to continue traveling with Yao Yan and Xiao Chun. Xiao Chun could not help but glance at these two. He did not know what these two were planning. If anyone believed those righteous words, they would be a fool. I intend to try my luck alone. Everyone, I will take my leave first. Lang Taotian covered his entire body in blood-kill electric light. With a few leaps, he arrived at the entrance of a side palace and walked in with his head held high. Following that, a few more people expressed their stance and left one after another, each entering a side palace. The couple on Spirit Returning Island seemed to be arguing about something. They didn't know how to proceed. Everyone had their own thoughts. In the end, it was that man who spoke up and made his choice, heading for a side palace. The Northern Sea Alliance's Yen Chihai performed a cupped fist salute and said, "My apologies, Princess Yao Yan. This old man is probably unable to help the merfolk race much. We will not be following young Master Xiao." After saying that, Yen Chihai led 5 or 6 people to a side palace that no one had been to before. In an instant, most of the people had left, leaving only Qi Wuxia, Long Fei, and the low-profile Lung Ao, who had not made a decision yet. Qi Wuxia chuckled and said, "Brother Xiao, Brother Long Fei and I have decided to follow you. I love currying favor the most." Yao Yin rejoiced in his heart. Long Fei and Qi Wuxia possessed extraordinary strength in the group. With the two of them helping him, he would undoubtedly gain a great boost. The group looked at Lung Ao. This person was the only one who had not made a decision yet. They did not know what choice he would make. "Princess Yao Yan, please lead the way. I will follow you. I would like to see for myself what the true body of the evil demon is like," Lung Ao said, his voice not cold at all. Just like that, the people who would follow Lung Ao were decided. The disciples of the One Dao Palace, who clearly had impure motives, Long Fei and Qi Wuxia, who joined on account of Xiao Chun, the unfathomable Lung Ao, and Xiao Chun and Yao Yan, a total of 7 people. Let's go then. This place is a small world with a complicated environment. I have not been in there for more than a year already. I wonder what it is like now. Everyone be careful. Yao Yan took the lead and entered, and the others followed behind. Xiao Chun turned his head to take a look. After thinking for a while, he entered as well. When the group entered the Sea Monarch Palace, 9 snow-white, handsome, and elegant evil demon clones with azure eyes appeared in the void outside the Sea Monarch Palace. The evil demon clone in the middle was the most special. An indistinct layer of white-silver light flickered within its jade-like body. It licked its lips and smiled evilly. "We are all in. Let's follow the plan and go our separate ways. Don't get any ideas about the others. These people are all very strong. I feel like I can evolve again after consuming them. There's something wrong with that white-robed brat. I feel like he discovered us with that final glance. It's fine. Let me deal with this brat. I feel that after I consume him and those 2 half-baked immortal cultivators, I can definitely evolve to a silver sage body." The evil demon clone in the middle smiled faintly and flew into the main hall first. The other 8 evil demon clones also flashed, flying towards the entrance of the side hall. Hundreds of flowers bloomed, attracting butterflies. The fragrance filled the air, and the garden was filled with the colors of spring. After entering the main hall, what entered their eyes were not the palace walls, corridors, and stone pillars that they had imagined. Instead, it was a garden, an enchanting garden with pavilions, terraces, and pavilions. There were flower paths and small paths that twisted and turned. At first glance, Xiaochen thought it was an illusion. However, when the fragrance of the flowers entered his nose and lingered for a long time, a look of surprise appeared in his eyes. The garden in front of him was indeed real. The inside of Neptune's palace had already evolved into a small world of its own. It looked like what Xiaochen had said was true. The space inside was many times larger than it looked on the outside. This is the 10,000 garden. In order to please his daughter, Neptune specially built it. It collected thousands of beautiful flowers in the world. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Flowers will bloom in all 4 seasons, never withering. Chapter 906. Princess Yaoyan explained to the crowd as she looked at the beautiful scenery before her. Qi Wuxia felt the lingering spiritual energy in the air. He smacked his lips and said, "This sea monarch is really wasteful. I feel that there is a large formation under this 10,000 flower garden, with at least 99 peak spirit veins. There might even be a holy spirit vein in the center of the formation." That was indeed wasteful. Aside from being beautiful and pleasing to the eye, the flowers in the 10,000 flower garden had no other use. However, Neptune had spent 99 peak spirit veins and 1 holy spirit vein, putting in a lot of effort to establish such a large formation, so that the flowers in this garden would never wither. Neptune was very tyrannical and unpredictable, a tyrant through and through. However, as a father, he had put in a lot of effort. Xiaochen thought about the Neptune headscarf on his forehead. That was also Neptune's daughter. She had put in a lot of effort to weave it for her father. This father-daughter relationship must have been very good. Qi Wuxia felt interested. He chuckled and said, "It is too shameful to waste so many spirit veins. How about we just dig up this 10,000 flower garden, and split the spirit veins evenly?" The moment Qi Wuxia said that, everyone could not help feeling disdain. Lung Ao mocked. The Muddy Sky Gate is one of the top peak sects of the primal chaos domain after all. To think that they are eating so well that they look like beggars. Have they never seen treasures before? Or are they so poor that they do not even have a few spirit veins? Xiaochen was somewhat surprised. Along the way, Lung Ao rarely spoke, keeping a low profile. Why did his words become so sharp at this moment? Being mocked as a beggar, Qi Wuxia immediately flared up. However, Long Fei stopped him and advised him for a while before he calmed down. Qi Wuxia's suggestion was left unsettled. As the group walked along the flower paths, they experienced the mysteries of the 10,000 flower garden once more. Some places were spring, and some places were winter. Every season, the flowers that bloomed were different. As they walked, the changing scenery made them feel like they were walking on the flow of time. "I smell blood. It's very, very dense." Dense black smoke gathered in the sky of the 10,000 flower garden. There was also a significant amount of red light in the black smoke, immediately ruining the peaceful atmosphere of the garden. When the demons attacked, there was no need to say anything. The battle immediately began. With a thought, the violet flames in Xiaochen's eyes covered his entire body, not leaving a single gap. Then he reached out and pointed at the thousands of evil spirits. Strands of flames shot out from Xiaochen's fingertips, and miserable cries resounded. Be it the black smoke or the scarlet evil demon, they could not block a casual attack from Xiaochen. The might of the purple thunder true fire was unparalleled. The immortal cultivator, who also possessed a purple flame, also had a relatively easy time under these circumstances. The number of evil spirits he killed was not much less than Xiaochen's. Lung Ao's body was protected by the purple thunder armor. Thunder fire spread all over his body and crackled with electricity. The evil spirits did not dare to approach him at all. What was even rarer was that Xiaochen's martial techniques seemed to contain the attributes of thunder and fire. When he punched and punched, a large number of evil demons died. Qi Wuxia wore a pair of gloves on his hands. His hands moved quickly, forming many muddy sky demonic hand seals. They looked like heavenly flowers falling from the sky, dazzling everyone's eyes. When the strong muddy sky demonic hand seals worked together with the gloves, no evil demon could get close. No one here was an ordinary person. The evil demon spirits covered the sky, looking very mighty. However, after a few people cleared them out, only 3 completely black evil demon spirits remained in the sky. These evil demon spirits had already evolved to a higher level and were much more powerful than the scarlet evil demon spirits. Their facial features were now clearly visible, and they had a strong immunity to thunder and fire. Fear flashed in Yao Yan's eyes. He said sullenly, "Be careful. These black evil demon spirits are very difficult to deal with. The merfolk race suffered greatly at their hands before." Wuxia chuckled disapprovingly and said, "Black evil demon spirits? I have not seen them before. I'll give them a try." After saying that, Wuxia took the lead and targeted one of them, charging over. Xiaochen frowned slightly. This was the first time he encountered a black evil demon spirit. He did not know how strong it was. This Wuxia was somewhat rash. Wuxia moved his 10 fingers, and many demonic palms made all sorts of hand seals in the air. When they merged with the lightning-attributed flames on his gloves, they looked very unpredictable. "Humph! You overestimate yourself." The black evil demon spirit in the middle snorted coldly. Its figure flashed, and when it raised its hand, it threw a punch. As the black evil demon spirit flashed, an extremely tyrannical suction force sucked in the spiritual energy of the world. A black light surged on its fist, and an extremely viscous energy shot out. Bang! When Wuxia's ever-changing demonic hand seals met with a strong force, the hand images shattered and turned into nothing. Then he grunted and retreated. The black evil demon spirit flung the thunder and fire in its hand. The suction force actually slowly swallowed up the thunder and fire. In this simple clash, Wuxia, who possessed the thunder and fire, was actually at a disadvantage. The black evil demon spirit in the middle already possessed extremely high intelligence. It smiled coldly and said, "Little girl, unexpectedly you still dare to come. Furthermore, you even brought a few helpers. Don't you know that our master is about to come out and rule the world? It's good that you came. By swallowing this group of people, we can evolve to an early stage holy body." "Ah, that's true. I have not tasted flesh and blood for a long time already." Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 3 figures turned into black beams of light and launched themselves at the group, moving as fast as lightning. Xiaochen narrowed his eyes. After knocking back Wuxia, the black evil demon spirit charged at him with a sinister smile. "You are seeking death." Xiaochen's expression turned cold, and the purple thunder true fire in his eyes gathered on his fist. Then he punched. Bang! Xiaochen's punch knocked back the evil demon spirit. A layer of the purple fire fell off and burned its body. However, this evil demon spirit did not burn out. Its body only shrank slightly, and its aura weakened slightly. Ehe! Purple thunder true fire, the nemesis of my race. How painful! The evil demon spirit laughed strangely and charged over again. It spat out beams of black light that looked like swimming black dragons containing a strong suction force. Chi! Chi! When the beams of black light landed on the purple fire on Xiaochen's body, they burned and turned into black smoke that scattered. They could not do anything to Xiaochen. "What's going on? What exactly is the level of your purple thunder true fire?" This scene stunned the black evil demon spirit. Xiaochen smiled coldly to himself. The purple flames on his body were all from the purple thunder true fire's origin flame. They were on a completely different level from the ones gathered on his fist. However, there was no need to tell the other party this. It is better to be a confused ghost. Uchi. The purple flames on his body suddenly withdrew and turned into a saber with flowing purple light. Xiaochen grasped the saber hilt. An electric light flashed under his feet as he executed ghostly image chop. In the time it took for a spark to fly, a purple saber light that was indistinguishable from the real one chopped the evil demon spirit before him into hundreds of pieces. The saber images formed a sea of fire. Then it trembled ferociously, and these pieces instantly turned into nothing. Xiao Chen scattered the flaming saber with flowing purple light in his hand, turning it back into battle armor that covered him. Then he stretched out his hand and grabbed a falling black pearl. The black pearl was left behind by the black evil demon spirit after it died. Even after being shaken by the sea of fire, it remained intact. Xiao Chen took a look and could not figure out much about it, so he placed it in his universe ring. As for the other two evil demon spirits, the two from the One Dao Palace worked together to deal with one, while the other four worked together to deal with the other. The situation was extremely tense. The victor could not be decided within a short time. Let's go. This person's purple thunder true fire is not something we can deal with. When the two black evil demon spirits saw their companion killed in an instant by Xiao Chen, they wanted to retreat. They turned into two beams of black light and quickly retreated. After him. When the two from the One Dao Palace saw the universe ring on Xiao Chen's hand, they revealed greedy expressions. Then they chased after the black evil demon spirit. Wuxia smiled and said, "Brother Xiao, those two disciples from the One Dao Palace seem to be very interested in the black pearl you just obtained. Strange, I killed a black evil demon spirit before. Why did I not see a black pearl?" Yao Yan asked, feeling somewhat suspicious. Xiao Chen took out the black pearl to take a look. Aside from feeling an extremely dense and mysterious energy, he could not see anything else about it. Let's not care about this for now. Let's give chase and take a look. The group executed their movement techniques and followed. The evil demon spirit fled very quickly. After chasing for a long time, the group still did not see the two from the One Dao Palace stop. After a long time, the group finally saw the two from the One Dao Palace, standing on a cluster of flowers. However, the two did not move at all as they looked ahead. Who knew what they saw? The group landed and looked ahead. Hundreds of flowers bloomed in front. An extremely beautiful girl lay among the flowers and plants with her eyes closed. Her long, sky-blue hair flickered with light, and she wore a garland of flowers on her head. Her skin was fair and rosy, tender and delicate. It looked like she was truly asleep, and could be gently woken up as long as one went forward. Beside her, the two black evil demons were entangled by a few flowers. No matter what they did, they could not break free. The light on their bodies gradually dimmed. They had already transformed into red evil demons, and they were still fading. It would not be long before they completely disintegrated. When Princess Yao Yan saw this girl, her expression changed slightly. She looked around and said, "How did we get here? This is Neptune's daughter. She is buried in the depths of the 100 flowers. Ordinary people would not be able to find this place." Xiao Chen felt excited and looked around. Everywhere he saw, hundreds of flowers bloomed, competing with each other in beauty. This was a vast sea of flowers. There was no path to follow. If not for the two evil demon spirits fleeing randomly, they would not have been able to find this place. Let's go. There is 100 flowers formation here. If we go any closer, it will be truly dangerous, Yao Yan said as she slowly shifted her gaze away from Neptune's daughter. The two people from the One Dao Palace stared at the trapped evil demon spirit, their eyes filled with dissatisfaction. However, there was nothing they could do even if they were dissatisfied. The 100 flowers formation could easily trap and kill the black evil demon spirits. How could they dare to take even half a step forward? Damn it! The heavenly soul pearl is gone just like that. The immortal cultivator with the purple flame said in a low voice. The cultivator with the purple flame said in a low voice. That is a treasure that can nourish a nascent soul. A single one can increase my cultivation by 10 years. The azure-clothed person consoled. Junior brother Chenlin, don't be too depressed. There will be more opportunities later. Before leaving, Princess Yao Yan bowed to the sea monarch and Vega daughter. Then, she carefully led the group away. Xiao Chen noticed that the cold and arrogant gaze was the last to leave Neptune's daughter. It was as fast as a flickering light and passing shadow, swaying in circles. Wuxia and the others quickly followed the white figure, preventing the other party from standing behind them. At the same time, they quickly tracked the white figure's position. Xiao Chen closed his eyes, and his feet slowly floated up. His entire body was in a gentle and relaxed state, as if he was hibernating silently. Where did this white-skinned ghost come from? If you have the guts, stop spinning around for this young master. Qi Wuxia cursed, dazzled by the dazzling light. Whoosh! As soon as he finished speaking, a handsome and elegant evil demon with a body as smooth as jade and a faint silver glow suddenly appeared in front of him. Their faces were so close that the tips of their noses were almost touching. This sight startled Qi Wuxia, and he quickly moved back. That jade-like evil demon clone smiled and used its fingers like a saber, stabbing towards Qi Wuxia's chest at lightning speed. The evil demon clone was so fast that it left no traces. The startled Qi Wuxia could not react at all. Just as the saber-like hand was about to stab into Qi Wuxia's heart and kill him, the crisp sound of a saber being drawn suddenly rang out. Then a saber-like bolt of lightning flew over. Xiao Chen quickly made a move and grabbed that jade-like wrist. Then he stretched out his hand and tossed the evil demon clone away. Xiao Chen's vital qi surged. This casual toss contained 150 kilograms of force. The evil demon clone flew back 5 kilometers like a meteor, before crashing heavily into the ground. Rumble! It smashed a huge pit in the ground. Qi Wuxia, who narrowly escaped death, felt his heart pounding heavily. He said in a trembling voice, "Brother Xiao, many thanks." Xiao Chen turned around and looked to the front. Then he said calmly, "Be careful. It's not over yet." A cool breeze blew, and the evil demon clone in the pit in front floated over unhurriedly. It licked its lips and looked greedily at Xiao Chen. "Good. I can feel a qi and blood as strong as a dragon's in your body. In our homeland, you can be considered a peak food. There are also the two of you. You are pretty good supplements as well." The jade-white evil demon clone said as it looked at the azure-clad man and his junior brother. "The rest can only be considered snacks." Yao Yan whispered, "Xiao Chen, this evil demon clone swallowed up Emperor Wu's body. 2 years ago, before it matured, I used the extreme thunder sword to kill it. However, I did not kill it completely. Now it has become a source of trouble. I'll make a move. You guys back off." The origin flame on Xiao Chen's body gathered back into a treasured saber glowing with purple light. Then he grasped the saber hilt, and an electric light flashed under his feet as he charged over. Martial techniques were useless against this evil demon clone. Xiao Chen could only rely on his movement technique and saber technique, relying on the treasured saber formed from the origin flame, to kill the other party. However, by doing so, he would lose all his defenses. Furthermore, he would be easily injured by the evil demon clone. The white evil demon clone smiled coldly, and a jade-white sword of light appeared in its hand. Then it started an intense battle with Xiao Chen. Unexpectedly, the cultivation of the evil demon clone's sword technique was not weak. It fought on par with Xiao Chen. When Yao Yan saw this scene, he gaped slightly. The sword technique that this evil demon clone executed was the sword technique of the merfolk race's Emperor Wu. When it brandished it, it actually achieved 70 to 80% of its charm. After fighting for a long time, the white evil demon clone tried to find an opportunity to get close to Xiao Chen and enter his body several times. However, Xiao Chen blocked it with his saber. Xiao Chen was very patient. His eyes remained calm as he could not find any openings in the other party for now. The other party's sword technique was just for show. It did not understand its true nature. There would be an opportunity sooner or later. The white evil demon clone started to feel frustrated. Originally, it thought that it could suppress Xiao Chen with some of the sword techniques in Emperor Wu's memories. Furthermore, with its advantage and talent, it would be able to swallow up Xiao Chen soon. In the end, it ended up in a stalemate. The other party was as calm as ice in winter, not showing any signs of impatience or opening up at all. With that thought, the white evil demon clone's movements could not help but become even more berserk. Its might was like a storm, roaring continuously. Xiao Chen's eyes lit up. The opportunity was here. The other party finally revealed an opening. Xiao Chen swung his saber and used the other party's opening to launch a sharp counterattack, catching the other party off guard. After forcing the other party back in 3 moves, the saber in Xiao Chen's hand turned back into the origin flame and reappeared in his palm. Then a light flickered on his forehead, and the purple lightning talisman entered the flame. The origin flame immediately gave off a blazing light, even more dazzling than the sun. It gently shot forward and crashed into the retreating evil demon clone. The origin flame, which was several times mightier than before, burned fiercely on the evil demon clone's body, causing it to scream miserably. The white, jade-like body of the evil demon clone continuously faded in the flame, turning from white to black, then from black to red. It looked like it would turn into a clump of black smoke soon. "Don't kill me! Don't kill me! I know where Neptune's remains are." With a thought, Xiaochen stopped the purple flame from burning as he shouted coldly, "You know where Neptune's remains are? That's right. That's right. I really do know. Ever since I was just a thought body, I wandered around this Neptune palace. It has been 10 years since then. Not only do I know where Neptune's remains are, but I also do not know where the treasure rooms that no one has discovered are." As the pain in its body lessened, the evil demon clone that had turned into black smoke quickly explained everything. Princess Yao Yin revealed a suspicious expression. She said, "This evil demon clone is very crafty. Young Master Xiao, it is best that you do not stay. Back then, I was careless, allowing this evil demon clone to grow to its current level." When the evil demon clone heard that, it could not help feeling horrified. It said, "This young master, there is a painting on the gilded coffin where Neptune's remains are. The person in the painting looks very similar to you. There must be some connection." A painting of the Qing Emperor. The evil demon clone did not know the identity of the person in the painting. However, Long Fei and the others did. Qi Wuxia laughed loudly and said, "Brother Xiao, it looks like what this evil demon clone said is true. That must be where Neptune's remains are." Long Fei waved his folding fan and said calmly, "Since you know where Neptune's remains are, then say it now." This evil demon clone had already turned into black smoke. However, there was a jade-white pearl inside its body. Since this evil demon clone had not been destroyed, its cultivation had not been destroyed. There was still a chance for it to make a comeback. Long Fei wanted to force out Neptune's remains before killing this evil demon clone to prevent any future disasters. "No, I don't remember the way. I have to personally lead the way." Who knew this evil demon clone was very crafty and did not fall for it? Qi Wuxia said angrily. "You don't remember? I think you are just playing tricks." Qi Wuxia formed hand seals, and the muddy sky demonic hand imprint carried traces of lightning-attributed fire as it smashed into this evil demon clone. The muddy sky demonic hand imprint immediately caused the evil demon clone to shriek miserably. Xiaochen waved his hand to stop Qi Wuxia. Then he opened his mouth and spat out the refined dragon phoenix cauldron. Then he said coldly, "It's fine if you do not want to say it. Jump in now." That evil demon clone had been tortured badly by Qi Wuxia, but it refused to speak. When it heard Xiaochen's words, it could not help but jump in joyfully. Aside from a golden crow egg giving off an overwhelming heat wave, there was nothing else in the cauldron. The evil demon clone could not help but reveal a sinister smile. This was a good place. If it had another half a day, it would be able to recover most of its cultivation and escape. The evil demon clone was just short of a silver sage body. As long as the jade-white heavenly soul pearl in its body was not destroyed, it could recover to its peak at any time. "When I recover my strength, I will slowly swallow you up. I want to torture this fellow bit by bit, and let him know what it means to be more painful than the Dead Sea." The evil demon clone cursed viciously in its heart. Uchi. Before the evil demon clone could finish cursing in its heart, it saw a beam of purple thunder true fire descend and fill the entire cauldron. Xiaochen did not pour in his origin flame. He feared burning this evil demon clone to death, so he could only slowly torture it until it was neither dead nor alive. He could not be careless with such an evil being. Miserable shrieks rang out endlessly in the cauldron. The evil demon clone rolled around in the fire, enduring endless torture. There was no way for it to recover its strength. It was already fortunate that it could survive. No matter what, the evil demon clone's current body was the lowest grade black smoke body. It could not endure the burning of this purple flame. Furthermore, the jade-white heavenly soul pearl in its body could not be extinguished. Chapter 908. As long as Xiaochen did not stop, this evil demon clone would suffer eternal torture, neither dead nor alive. When Yaoyan saw that Xiaochen had subdued the evil demon clone, she wanted to advise him against it. However, she knew Xiaochen's character. Once he decided on something, it would be hard to change his mind. So she could only give up. A sharp voice suddenly rang out. A green light flickered under Xiaochen's feet, and tree branches appeared. The tree branches were as thick as an arm and flickered with a green light, displaying a strong life force as they grew wildly. In an instant, the tree branches covered Xiaochen's entire body and continued to grow. They bound Xiaochen tightly. Not even a corner of his clothes could be seen. The one who made a move was the green-robed man from the Wendao Palace. He held a large azure banner with a resplendent star embroidered on it, radiating a boundless life force. This was the azure wood star of the 9 glorious stars. The instant the tree branches trapped Xiaochen, that Qinlin made a move as well. Clearly, the two had discussed this for a long time and had a tacit understanding when they made their moves. Rumble. 5 bolts of lightning of different colors, representing metal, wood, water, fire, and earth, struck Xiaochen, who was trapped by the tree branches. After the lightning bolts struck, they were not done yet. They turned into 5 balls of lightning, materializing the mysteries of the 5 elements reinforcing and restraining each other. Life and death roared endlessly in the middle of the tree branches. Qinlin withdrew his hand and stood upright. Then he laughed loudly and said, "Senior brother, the might of your azure wood banner is indeed extraordinary. It can easily trap this insufferably arrogant Xiaochen." The expressions of Yao Yan, Long Fei, and Qi Wuxia suddenly changed. They stood together, protecting Xiaochen as they glared at the three. "Quickly withdraw your immortal arts. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite," Yao Yan said sullenly. The thorn sovereign circlet on Yao Yan's head flickered with a green light. Her aura soared continuously. When the azure-clothed man saw that the divine lightning was still rumbling, he felt confident. He put away the greenwood banner and said in a cold voice, "Princess Yao Yan, don't be in such a rush to get angry." He killed the evil demon repeatedly, and the heavenly soul pearl was obtained by him alone. Now that we've killed this white demon, Xiaochen actually wants to take the white jade heavenly soul pearl for himself. He's too ruthless. He must die. What a must die. Brother Xiao was the one who killed the evil demon clones. It is only right and proper for him to take the spoils of war. Do you really think that the two of you are so thick-skinned? I worked so hard to obtain the heavenly soul pearls, yet I still have to share them with the two of you. For the first time, Qi Wuxia unleashed his baleful aura. His black hair fluttered wildly, looking like a demonic god bathed in blood. Long Fei put away his folding fan as the intent of destruction in his eyes condensed bit by bit. The mysterious phenomenon of falling snow drifting song and zither and flute playing in unison appeared behind him once more. Clearly, they were truly enraged. Qinlin smiled without a care in the world. After getting struck by my 5-element divine lightning, the formation materialized by the 5-element divine lightning should have already blasted Xiaochen to bits. Princess Yao Yan, you still have to suppress the main body of the evil demon. Now that Xiaochen is dead, no one else has the purple thunder true fire. Aside from me, no one else has the purple thunder true fire. You better think carefully before you make a move. The hopes of your merfolk race rest on me. The azure-clothed man appeared to have no fear. He continued, "This time we still have to extract the golden heavenly soul pearl of the evil demon's main body. At that time, this evil demon will be crippled, and the hidden danger of your merfolk race will no longer exist." What shameless boasting. I've been waiting for you to make a move. Suddenly, there was an explosion. Overwhelming shockwaves surged behind Yao Yan's group of 3. Tree shrapnel filled the air as a white figure flew out, heading for Qinlin and the azure-clothed man at lightning speed. The peach blossoms bloomed, the summer sun rose, the autumn wind blew, and the winter snow flew. Everywhere Xiaochen passed, spring, summer, autumn, and winter changed. It was like he reversed time and caught up to his youth. Flawless saber Dao, flawless 4 seasons. Bang! Spiritual light flowed on the Buddhist robes of the azure-clothed man, holding the greenwood banner and Qinlin. Defensive formations appeared as they tried to block this flawless four seasons. However, caught off guard, how much strength could the two bring out? For different kinds of saber lights cycled endlessly, looking incredibly sharp. They immediately tore the two's Buddhist robes into shreds. Pussy. The two vomited blood and crashed to the ground, their eyes filled with extreme shock. My five-element divine lightning can even trick a grandmaster-level martial sage. How come you are completely fine? Qinlin exclaimed in disbelief as he looked at the white-robed Xiaochun. Xiaochun smiled coldly and said, "When I underwent my lightning tribulation, what kind of lightning have I not seen? I even endured the divine lightning of extinction, and divine lightning that were even more horrifying. Why would I fear your five-element divine lightning? Right now, the thing I fear the least is the might of lightning. Junior brother, don't bother speaking nonsense with him. Let's work together to execute the 10,000 swords evil killing art, and use this minor magic skill to destroy him." The azure-robed man and Qinlin did not say anything more. They retreated 1 kilometer and stood in the air, forming hand seals. Immediately, the magic energy of the two burned continuously. Their auras became extraordinary, giving them an air of sages. A vast righteous chi surged out. Swords shining with starlight flew out of their bodies and formed a vast and boundless evil-killing sword formation above their heads. A boundless killing chi spread out from the formation. The berserk swords flew everywhere, forcing Yao Yan and the other two to move back. Minor magic skills. These two actually know immortal arts and magic skills. Yao Yan and the others had heard of immortal arts and magic skills as well. Those were existences that rivaled or even surpassed heaven-ranked martial techniques. Even in the Penglai Sea, not many people knew minor magic skills. As for major magic skills, they were even rarer. Xiaochun smiled faintly and quickly formed hand seals as well. The vast magic energy in his sea of consciousness burned as he executed Starry Heaven Storm, a peak minor magic skill. One side needed to work together to execute a minor magic skill. The other side could easily execute a minor magic skill alone. Whoever had more magic energy would be the victor. Stars appeared behind Xiaochun. As they intersected, they materialized the universe, the chessboard of fate. Pushing 2 stars at the same time, Xiaochun shouted, and fate fluctuated. The heavenly Tao turned chaotic as he controlled the starry heaven storm to descend. This is a peak minor god. Before Qinlin could finish speaking, the black starry heaven storm descended and instantly destroyed the vast evil-killing sword formation. The sound of countless swords shattering resounded in the surroundings. Then, the starry heaven storm crushed the bodies of the two into powder, creating a 5-kilometer-long gorge on the ground. Whoosh! 2 Yuanying imps appeared and wrapped themselves around their life magic treasures, fleeing in a sorry state. Xiaochun was very familiar with immortal cultivators. Naturally, he would not let go of these 2 Yuanying imps. He had been waiting for them for a long time. Electric light flashed under his feet, and he grabbed the life magic treasures of the 2 Yuanying imps. A purple flame burned in his eyes. Before the 2 Yuanying imps could continue fleeing, he burned them to ashes. The 2 life magic treasures, the azure-robed man's greenwood banner and the 5-element medallion, fell into Xiaochun's hands. A 50-square-kilometer-wide lotus leaf floated on the vast surface of the chaotic demonic sea. There were mountains and rivers on the lotus leaf. A white-haired old man sat on the summit of the mountain. His complexion was flushed, and he breathed slowly. As he breathed, pure immortal chi flowed out. Huge waves surged on the surface of the sea in accordance with the rhythm of his breathing. Occasionally, the huge waves tossed huge sea beasts out of the sea and into the air. Such a shocking power was revealed inadvertently with just a single breath. Suddenly, the old man opened his eyes, revealing a cold light. He whispered, "Qinlin and Xiaochun actually died. What's going on?" With the purple thunder true fire protecting them, they should not fear the evil demon clans. I even sent a minor magic skill to them. How did they die so quickly? Even their Yuanying did not manage to escape. Before Neptune's palace, Xiaochun inspected the greenwood banner and the 5-element medallion. he discovered that they were pretty good magic treasures. The greenwood star in the greenwood banner contained strong wood-attributed energy. It was perfect for trapping people and making a sudden move. Earlier, when Xiao Chun was entangled by those tree branches, he could not break free at first. If he had not burned his vital qi and attained half a dragon force, he would have found it hard to break free. Xiao Chun felt that the full might of this greenwood banner had not been brought out yet. That person probably had not used the greenwood banner as his life magic treasure for long. Otherwise, even if he burned his vital qi to attain half a dragon force, he might not have been able to break free. As for the remaining 5-element medallion, Xiao Chun liked it even more. Chun Lin's 5-element divine lightning was executed through this 5-element medallion. With this 5-element medallion, Xiao Chun could put his will of thunder to good use. When the greenwood banner and the 5-element medallion worked together, they could severely injure a grandmaster-level martial sage in an instant. If Xiao Chun had not cleared his lightning tribulation and gained a strong resistance to most lightning, he might have died here. Yao Yan and the others revealed doubtful expressions. Earlier, they had vaguely heard Chun Lin say something about a minor magic skill before he died. Could it be that Xiao Chun knew immortal arts as well? This news shocked everyone. They had never heard of anyone cultivating immortal arts and martial cultivation at the same time. Immortal cultivators required immortal fate, which was a special physical condition. Furthermore, immortal arts and martial cultivation were two completely different systems. Their cultivation techniques countered each other and could not be cultivated at the same time. Otherwise, their bodies would explode and they would die. We must have misheard. We must have misheard. The few of them comforted themselves in their hearts. Seeing Xiao Chun put away the 2 magic treasures, Yao Yan walked over and told Xiao Chun about saving Yan Qihai and the others. Xiao Chun raised his head and looked around. There is no need to go. They are already here. As soon as he finished speaking, he heard many loud rumbling sounds coming from afar. The few of them looked over and saw Lang Taotian, Yan Qihai, and the others fleeing in a miserable manner. They were madly fleeing without any regard for their energy consumption, and they had unleashed their movement techniques to the limit. The strong winds caused by their fleeing were too intense. They sounded like thunder to the ears. One could easily imagine how anxious these people were. Young Master Xiao, save us. When Lang Taotian and the others saw Xiao Chun, they immediately cried out in joy. 8 white figures with a jade-like glow could be seen behind the group, radiating an overwhelming evil aura. 8 jade-white evil demon clones are here together. Everyone's expressions changed. Even Xiao Chun felt a headache coming on. Just 1 jade-white evil demon clones was enough to make him put in so much effort. If 8 came together, they would definitely kill him. Qi Wuxia immediately cursed. Damn this group of bastards. Back then, they refused to come with us. Now they actually ran over together. They are trying to get us killed. Let's go. Ignore them. Let's retreat first. Xiao Chun did not hesitate to turn around and leave. He had already exhausted a significant amount of his origin flame to kill the white evil demon clones. Now 8 more jade white evil demon clones arrived. Chapter 909. Saving people? Xiao Chun was really stupid. If they came one by one, he could save them in passing. Suddenly, Xiao Chun thought of something and said, "Let's go in the direction of the 10,000 flowers garden." The eyes of the others lit up. They immediately understood what Xiao Chun meant. Qi Wuxia smiled and said, 10,000 flower garden. That's right. Let's go to the 10,000 flower garden. When Lang Taotian saw that Xiao Chun and the others had no intention of helping, he could not help but curse at the critical moment of life and death. You have the purple thunder true fire, but you don't use it. Instead, you watch us die. This fellow is too despicable. I will drag you down with me. Most of the others also had the same thought and followed the direction in which Xiao Chun and the others left. As fast as lightning, he soon arrived at the 10,000 flower garden. Xiao Chun and the other 4 had a tacit understanding. Without saying anything, they all rushed in the same direction. Soon Princess Qin, who was buried in the depths of the flowers, appeared before everyone once again. Princess Yao Yin transmitted a message to the people behind her. As Xiao Chun and the others flew quickly, they brushed past Princess Qin without leaving a trace. When Lang Taotian and the others heard Princess Yao Yan's words, they all rejoiced. They all followed behind her, and passed by Princess Qin's area without anyone noticing. The group flew very fast. The 8 Jade White evil demon clans in hot pursuit did not think too much. They only felt that their prey was about to fall into their hands. Their expressions were ferocious and excited. Puchi Puchi. The 8 evil demons flew over Princess Qin, and didn't even think about changing directions. Before they could react, they were pulled down by a force. Flowers and grass rose up and wrapped around the 8 white jade evil demons. Looks of terror appeared on the faces of the 8 evil demon cultivators. No matter what they did, they couldn't break free from the flowers and grass. What was even more terrifying was that the flowers and grass were slowly absorbing their energy. They couldn't do anything about it. What is this place? What's going on? I've been to the 10,000 flower garden many times, but why have I never discovered such a forbidden area? It's over. The grade of my heavenly soul pearl is going to drop. The evil spirit screamed, but to no avail. The luster on its body dimmed bit by bit, turning black, and then red. Lang Taotian and the others, who had been chased by them for a long time, came over. When they saw this scene, they could not believe their eyes. The various lightning-attributed flames did not have much effect on the Jade White evil demon clone. Unexpectedly, it was killed by these flowers and grass. Just who was the woman lying in the depths of the flowers? Xiao Chun used the core jade pendant to observe the situation. He discovered that aside from his group, only the people before him were still alive. Lang Taotian of the Xianshui sect, the couple of Spirit Returning Island, Yin Qihai of the North Sea Alliance, and the jade tablets of everyone else had long stopped moving. As he watched the 6 demons slowly disappear, Xiao Chun felt that it was a pity that he would not be able to obtain their heavenly soul pearls. Lang Taotian calmed down and looked at Xiao Chun in dissatisfaction. White-robed king, what was the meaning of that? We specially came to you to ask for help, but you actually turned around and ran. The couple from Spirit Returning Island also appeared dissatisfied. The man said, "There was the purple thunder true fire, yet you did nothing to save us. Young Master Xiao, you really went overboard this time." Yin Qihai did not say anything. However, his emotions were written all over his face, and his eyes showed displeasure. The evil demon clones only feared lightning-attributed flames. When they fought, they were somewhat fearful. However, when facing Xiao Chun, they were somewhat confident. Xiao Chun smiled coldly in his heart. This group of people did not have the courage to face the evil demon clones. However, they were confident in facing him, not feeling any fear at all. You fellows nearly caused us to die, and now you are questioning us? What is your skin made of? Let me pinch it. Wuxia walked over to the woman from Spirit Returning Island. The black-robed man from Spirit Returning Island shouted angrily, "Scram! You shameless scoundrel! Go further away. Our Spirit Returning Island is not afraid of your muddy sky gate." "Brother, what are you saying? I just want to see what your skin is made of. How can it be so thick? Why are you reacting so strongly?" Wuxia chuckled. Lung Ao withdrew his gaze from Princess Qin and said, "Young Master Xiao, it is time to go to the place where Neptune's remains are, right?" Neptune's remains. When Lang Taotian and the others heard the words Sea Monarch's remains, they all looked at Xiao Chun. This was their main purpose for coming here. Their main purpose in coming here was to find Neptune's remains. After searching for a long time, they could not find any clues. Unexpectedly, Xiao Chun discovered it. The group immediately shut up, no longer talking about the earlier matter. When Xiao Chun saw this, he could not be bothered with it. He opened his mouth and spat out the dragon phoenix cauldron, releasing that evil demon clone. That evil demon clone was tormented until it hovered between life and death. When it left the dragon phoenix cauldron, it immediately felt like it had arrived in heaven. After looking at its surroundings, the evil demon clone asked carefully, "Are the few of you going to look for Neptune's remains? Lead the way. Cut the crap." Right now, Xiao Chun had subdued the evil demon clone. With just one casual sentence, The evil demon clone did not dare to say anything more, obediently leading the way. Young Master Xiao, sorry for the offense earlier. Sorry, I was indeed too rash earlier. Lang Taotian and the handsome man from Spirit Returning Island found an opportunity to apologize to Xiao Chun. These people who could survive were all powerful characters. When they saw Neptune's remains later, they would definitely not be calm. Xiao Chun casually said a few words, not revealing anything, making it hard for others to understand him. The evil demon clone led the way, bringing the group back to the Great Hall. You can't be telling me that Neptune's gilded coffin is here, right? Wuxia said with a smile. The Great Hall was where the evil demon clone's main body was sealed. Yao Yan had been there once before, but Neptune's remains had not been there. The evil demon clone smiled and said, "It is here. However, it is not in the Great Hall but in the sky above it." After saying that, the evil demon clone opened its mouth and spat out a dense black qi. Black smoke spread out, and an invisible palace slowly appeared in the empty sky above the Great Hall. The eyes of the group lit up. Unexpectedly, there was a palace hidden by a folding fan made of light above the Great Hall. Neptune's coffin is in there. I went in before, but I could not open the coffin. A painting was pressing on the coffin, and I could not move it at all. The evil demon clone continued. According to the agreement, you have to let me off. Xiao Chun opened his mouth and released the dragon phoenix cauldron. Without any explanation, it sucked in the evil demon clone, not giving it a chance to bargain. Whoosh! Whoosh! Lang Taotian, Yin Qihai, and the couple from Spirit Returning Island rushed into the palace above. After that, Long Fei, Qi Wuxia and Lung Ao followed. Only Princess Yao Yan and Xiao Chun remained where they were. Young Master Xiao, are we going in? The palace in the air appeared indistinct amid the spreading smoke. Xiao Chun stared at the palace and asked, Princess Yao Yan has never been to this palace before? Before entering Neptune's palace, Yao Yan had said that she did not know where Neptune's coffin was. However, Xiao Chun did not believe that now. Since the evil demon clone in the Dragon Phoenix Cauldron could tell Xiao Chun the location of the coffin for the sake of survival, why could it not tell Yao Yan? Why could Xiao Chun not tell Yao Yan? Princess Yao Yan wielded the extreme thunder sword and defeated Xiao Chun before. Everyone who was still alive now had extraordinary backgrounds. Xiao Chun vaguely felt that he had fallen into a huge trap. Young Master Xiao, Princess Yao Yan wanted to say something, but she did not. Xiao Chun cut her off and said, Don't say any more. I'll say it again. I believe that your highness will not harm me. I only care about helping to seal the evil demon clone's main body. The other matters have nothing to do with me. Whatever the purpose of the people here, or what the merfolk race wants to do has nothing to do with me. After saying that, electric light flashed under Xiao Chen's feet, and he entered the palace as well, leaving Princess Yao Yan standing there with a somewhat gloomy expression. Inside the palace, Lang Taotian and the others surrounded a gilded coffin, frowning to themselves. An unfurled painting floated above the coffin. The few of them tried to move it, but could not budge the coffin at all. The man in the painting was exactly the same as the one in the painting of the Qing Emperor drawing the saber in Xiao Chen's hand. The only differences were his expression and actions. In the painting before Lang Taotian, the Qing Emperor's eyes were filled with vigor and sharpness. A tyrannical aura spread out from the paper. Standing at the summit of a mountain and looking into the distance, one had a heroic feeling that the world was vast, and that no one else was above it. However, in the painting in Xiao Chen's hand, the Qing Emperor's sharpness was withdrawn. His eyes were filled with the accumulation of age and vicissitudes. It was like he had seen through all the troubles of the mortal world. The tyrannical aura was gone, replaced by a comprehension of life and death. Without this comprehension, the Qing Emperor drawing the saber painting would not have allowed Xiao Chen to experience the feeling of death again and again. The two paintings were separated by a long period of time. Without a doubt, the Qing Emperor in the painting was much stronger than the Qing Emperor in the painting before Xiao Chen. He could see through things more thoroughly. Xiao Chen, why are you only here now? Quickly put away this standing tall seeing far painting, and let us open the coffin. When Lang Taotian saw Xiao Chen enter, his eyes lit up as he gave a command. The others looked at Xiao Chun with fervent expressions, waiting for him to make a move. Footsteps came from outside the door. It was Princess Yao Yan, who had followed Xiao Chun in. Xiao Chun crossed 100 meters with one step, arriving before the coffin. Then he stretched out his hand and collected the standing tall seeing far painting. The others all showed joy on their faces. They all stepped forward, wanting to open the coffin lid to see if the treasure was still there. The coffin lid opened with a paw sound. The few of them looked in joyfully. In the end, their expressions changed. This gilded coffin was actually empty. How can this be? Where is Neptune's body? Damn. What's going on? There is not even a strand of hair. Disappointed. Everyone was disappointed. Neptune's scepter, divine rain robes, chasing wave boots, and Neptune's crown. Which one of them was not an emperor-grade secret treasure? Although martial sages could not bring out the full might of an emperor-grade secret treasure, just 20% of its might was sufficient to sweep through the place and increase one's strength significantly. Xiao Chun had already expected this, so he was not too surprised. Then he put away the standing tall seeing far painting. The Qing Emperor drawing the saber painting and the standing tall seeing far painting in the universe ring immediately started to merge, forming a blazing clump of light. Xiao Chun could not help but feel slightly shocked. To think that the two paintings could merge. He wondered what would happen. There should be a secret in the Qing Emperor drawing the saber painting. However, even after comprehending drawing the saber, Xiao Chun had not been able to uncover it. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.